Hey.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Carmichael. Yay! Oh, it's that day again. Huh?
Everyone, may the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Welcome to a Star Wars edition of Talking Guitars and 80s Metal. Live!
Yeah. We're live. It's May the 4th, everybody.
May the 4th be with you. It is Star
8:23
Wars Day.
8:23 p.m. Eastern, 5:23 p.m. Pacific here in Santa Cruz, California. And where's my list? Make sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. We're live on YouTube, where you can subscribe. And here on YouTube, we have channel membership, where you click the join button right below the 24 thumbs ups, and you can become a member of the channel. Top tier of channel membership are executive producers like Charles Green, Wayno, Joe Christian, Michael B, Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Bent Tom, The Chad, James Gum, David Shigemori, Michael Smith, the Captain Michael Smith,
The Captain,
Randy Price, Stephen Franklin, Dad Halen, Crazy Cook 678, John Moronic, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Mike Neese, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael!
That's the top tier of channel membership here on YouTube. And again, just click that join button below. It's right there.
Oh, there it is.
It's fun. And this is also a podcast, and I'm totally caught up. So after the show tonight, I just have to upload this episode here, and it'll be current.
And then we're up to date because iHeartRadio audiences are clamoring for more episodes of Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live. They're clamoring.
Yeah.
Do you hear the clamor? No, we don't want that. No.
You can also listen on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, radio.com. You can subscribe, leave reviews. We need a bunch of reviews over there. We're also live on Facebook, where you can help support the shows with Facebook stars. And we are live on the Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where you can leave a review. Let's see. What's the I have everything written down. Here it is.
No, you can leave reviews. Well, leave good reviews. Don't tell the truth.
Yeah. Leave some nice reviews.
Nice reviews, please.
Yeah. And we're also live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group, where we passed 50,000 members.
Nice.
It's craziness. It's literally it's crazy in there. Past couple days.
What do we pass?
Yeah. but it's great. It's amazing. I mean, it just shows you what an awesome band Van Halen is.
Sandra Picorni left a review already. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra.
Well, let's see who's in the chat today. We got let's see. We got R2R3 Locking Nut. We got Big Boss Charles Green, Dwight Bailey, Tommy Sargent, R2R3 Locking Nut. You mean R2D2 Locking Nut? Is that what you mean? It's gonna be a long show. My girl Sandra Picorni. Picorni, Picorni, Picorni. The force is with you. There you go. Let's see who else we got in the house. Nightbot's in the house. Kevin Bethel's in the house. Dwight Bailey, Two Brain Cells, Howlface, Brian Spalding, my buddy Fruitcake Tony, who says buy the new Gizmachia album now. Not now, but right after the show. That's a good idea. Let's see who else we got. Mike Johnson in the house. Warren Graham Music in the house. Jay Hannon, the great Jay Hannon of the band Gizmachi in the house. Let's see. Who do we got? Steve Carmichael. Mike Johnson. And yeah, Mike Johnson. Today I decorated the set a little bit. I changed out the guitar for that space theme guitar I had last week, that Space Warlock, which I probably should have brought on this week for, Star Wars Day. Think about it. But I put it up there for decoration. I put up a framed Empire Strikes Back poster from somewhere else in my house, a couple of Star Wars action figures, a couple of Star Wars comics, portfolio from Empire Strikes Back. And look at the shirt I'm wearing. This is my original Star Wars video game shirt, old school Star Wars video game.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I remember. I remember playing that game. Here's mine.
Yeah. Nice. What do you got? Vader? Nice.
Rule the galaxy.
Indeed you do, Mr. Beane.
And David Scher. Thank you so much, dude.
Who doesn't love Star Wars?
Hardcore Star Trek fans, maybe?
Well, no. I mean, there's no choice between Star Wars and Star Trek. They're two different things. You don't have to choose between them, but I don't like either of them. Star Wars sucks. Oh, David Crosby, voodoo doll. My eye! Ah! Now you can't watch anything.
Oh my goodness,
you bastard. It's not like you have to be a Democrat or Republican. You don't have to choose Star Wars or Star Trek. You can enjoy them both. I totally dig both franchises. But today, May the 4th, is Star Wars Day. And look who else is celebrating. BB Rhino. There he is. Little BB Rhino. May the 4th be with you. There he is. Isn't that cool?
Awesome.
BB-8 hat on.
Awesome.
BB Rhino.
Man.
That's fun. Let's see who else. Who else is in the house? Brian Spalding is watching Empire Strikes Back right now. We'll put it on pause, man. Watch this show and then go back to it, or have it in the background.
We'll tell you what happens at the end.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm serious. That was the best of the franchise, man. That is my personal favorite movie of all time. It really, really, really is. Let's see who else. Browns fan in the house.
Hey, Bo.
Let's see.
Hey, Rob.
As I repeat myself, hey, Rob. False flag in the house. Mr. Hellstorm 74. Linny Lou and Mary, my little geriatric love child. My little geriatric sex slave. My little Mary in a slave Leia outfit in her wheelchair. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, baby, choke me with that chain. Let's see. Yeah.
Post pics in the Discord.
Yeah, by the way, today I want everyone to send us pics to this text number that Johnny just blocked conveniently. And
welcome, Facebook user from the Van Halen group. Thank you.
Yeah,
there we go.
Facebook user. Thank you, man. And watching the Star Wars Christmas special. Awesome. Very cool.
Awesome. But yeah. Send pictures to that phone number.
Yeah, send Star Wars related pictures. And something Star Wars, or your guitars and something Star Wars, or your vagina and something Star Wars, something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Just something Star Wars. Let's see. Dress up your dog as Yoda. I want to see it today. Send us Star Wars text to the number. We'll show them throughout the show. Rico B in the house. Vimp 69. Let's see. Let's see. Who else?
Absolute Mayhem.
Absolute Mayhem in the house. David Scher in the house. Let's see. I'm sure my friends the Mansfields are checking us out tonight. My friend Gail, my friend Mr. Mers checking us out tonight. James Gum in the house.
71.
You can never have too many 71s. It's a 69 with 2 fingers in the ass. There you go. And 6 chicks. Can't beat that. Charlie S in the house. JM Corb. There you go, Jeff. Welcome, man.
Welcome.
Let's see. Garbage. Absolute Mayhem. We said already. Let's see.
Alan, when are you jumping on, man?
When are you jumping? Fruitcake Tony wants to know what Mama Mancuda thinks of the 4th. Oh, Star Wars. That's not for me. Yeah. Now, Mom's not a big Star Wars fan, unfortunately. She knows I am because, like, as a kid, I wanted, all the figures and the toys, and I have Star Wars posters, and I'm a geek. I'm a geek's geek. I mean, I have comics, and I mean, look at this. I brought on to the show today, and everyone else in the chat. This is, you guys know, you longtime watchers, I'm a big comic book junkie, and I also collect the original hand-drawn artwork used to produce the comic books. So today I brought on, just for a little extra fun show and tell, I brought on the original hand-drawn artwork to one of the old Star Wars comic books that I own. And I have a few of these. This is number 18. Check that out. This is how comic books are made. An artist sits there and hand draws it in pencil and then an inker inks over it. And this is Star Wars 18. What the title of the book was called The Empire Strikes, which came out earlier than The Empire Strikes Back. So think about that. That's pretty wild. Yeah, this came out in, let's see, early 78. So how cool is that? It just used the same title by coincidence. And or George Lucas looked at the comic and went, that's kind of neat. Even the logo is similar, It's
possible they were already working on that movie.
It's very possible. It's totally possible.
Because the original Star Wars was actually filmed in like 75, 76.
76, yeah.
Although George had the idea for the film like years before.
Yeah. Let's see. Just looking in the chat. Bear with me a sec.
Leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, please leave a thumbs up. And thank you, False Flag. False Flag can finally say, I am your father to my baby boy. Of course, he doesn't mean it because the mailman keeps coming around and saying, But that's all. Hey, listen, if you're paying the bills, you're the daddy, man. So this is cool, right? I mean, take a look at that. It's the original cover, and then they take a photocopy of it and they color it, and then they print it out. But that's the original hand-drawn artwork to a 1978 Star Wars comic. And I like I said, I have a bunch of these. I love this stuff. I collect all this stuff.
I might have had that issue actually, because I used to have a bunch of those.
Oh, I love the Star Wars comic books. The Marvel Star Wars they're terrific. And then Dark Horse did it later, and they're great. And, now Marvel has the property again. So I'm really into that. Let's see. Mike Johnson says, John, you should come to Georgia in June for Joe Fest. Or is that J.O. Fest? Jerk Off Fest? I'll be the guest of honor there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest tonight. The master baiter of ceremonies, Mr. John Mancuda. Oh, good. Let's throw some tissues on the stage for him. Yeah, that's great.
David Scher, thank you so much, man. And I'm assuming that's you. I'm getting like major text messages right now.
Good. Let's see. Garbage says the small paperback of the first film came out the same time the movie did in 1976. It was the first book I ever read completely on my own at age 4. See, George Lucas teaching kids to read. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I remember. I have a copy of the first paperback. I have everything. I have all sorts of Star Wars stuff. I've handled actual props from the movies.
Absolute mayhem. Thank
Nice.
you,
With a lightsaber up his schnoz. Attaboy. May the Schwartz be with you. And thank you, David Scher. David Scher giving us a couple of space shekels. Goes right into Johnny's pocket, just like the Empire. Just like the Empire. Johnny takes it all. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
David Scher, nice.
It
good looking R2. Good looking R2D2. Very cool.
You, he sent a couple.
Well, let's see him. Let's see what we got.
R2 watching us right there.
Oh, very cool.
Awesome. And then, yeah, anybody that sends these pictures in, I send them out on Twitter as nice. Twitter fleets and
like
Instagrams and Instagram stories on my EVH Instagram, which is at like 15,000 followers.
CK wants to know you dug 7, 8, and 9. I mean, look, here's the thing. It's sort of like Van Halen. You know, you have the Dave years here, you have the Sammy years here, and then there's Gary. Man. And then there's Gary. So hold on. So Star Wars, the first trilogy to me were the best, and then you have you know the last parts, which had its ups and downs. I mean, there was some parts that were good. There were some parts that weren't good. And then you have the prequels. The prequels are kind of like the Gary Sharon era, So that's just me. I mean, to me, the original trilogy, Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi, that's the ultimate. That's as good as it gets, I mean, there's let's see. Sandra wants to know, where's Paulie? I don't know. I think Paulie's either running late or has got something going on, but he hasn't checked in yet today.
I haven't. Yeah,
John Biel, check the tracker we have implanted into him. He doesn't know it yet, but we had Paulie chipped. So
remember that kernels that he ate last week?
Let's see. Absolute Mayhem says episode 8 has been erased from my brain. Yeah, look, I mean, the way I look at it, well, it's the second one of the new trilogy. It wasn't
Oh, that
great.
was horrible.
It wasn't great. Yeah, it wasn't great.
That was just terrible, that one.
I feel bad even saying like the last few movies were like the Sammy era of Van Halen, because I like the Sammy era of Van Halen, and the after movies, the finale of the last 3, I mean, the way I look at it seriously, it's just another trilogy that you're like, and then, the prequels, you're like, you try not to shit yourself thinking about them.
I don't think they were so bad, the prequels. The first one's kind of boring, but the second one I thought was pretty good.
There's something about a precocious little kid in a movie I just don't like. I really don't like, and little Anakin Skywalker just did not amuse me in that first movie. I don't know, just, he was whiny. And then even in the third movie,
even the second one, even in the one that was growing up, he was
bad. he was whiny. And then even as he became Vader, no, oh, shut up. You're the Dark Lord of the Sith. Stop being a bitch.
No.
Yeah, no, it's David Prowse is rolling in his grave thinking of that one, Well,
that wasn't even him.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's like, I made Vader into this amazing character. James Earl Jones got all the credit, and I'm still Darth Vader. And then they fisted me even further by taking this other guy in the costume and turning Vader from, I want those data tapes, into a badass, into, no, Padme, no. Ms. Mancuda can't open the gefilte fish. No. You know. Lord Vader, what happened to you? You used to be so badass.
Remember when they took his mask off?
Oh, gee. I mean, yeah, there he is.
There he is. There's
the real Vader. Meh. And yeah, hit the like button for Star Wars, man. If you don't like Star Wars, today's not your day, because it's our day. It sure is, man. No, right. I think of that scene with Vader being a bitch like all the time. It's like, you know, I'm sitting there trying to get an erection, and some hot girl's like, John, come on, hurry. But I'm nervous, and I'm like, come on. No, you know. Wow. Where's your lightsaber? No. Going to a Chinese restaurant, they're out of pork lo mein. No. Yeah. No, look, Star Wars episodes 4 through 6 are the shit. They are the best movies ever made. They really are, you know. But I mean, you could think of that moment of Vader for anything, just anything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Some
chick pulls down her pants. There's a penis there. No. Yeah. Honey, I think the condom broke. No. You yell into the vagina. I am your father. I didn't want to be, but I am.
Yuck. Who's this? David Shea Gamori.
David Shea Gamori.
Gamorian
Nice.
guards.
Gamorrean guards. Those are like Miss Piggy's cousins. The Gamorrean guards. My cousin is a Gamorrean guard working for Jabba the Hutt. Nice. There we go, so Lord weird. Vader. Very cool. What nationality was Darth Vader? Brian Spalding wants to know. I don't know. He's kind of interspace. He's not even on the, you know, on Earth. I mean, we're talking.
He was just white.
I mean, yeah, he was a white guy, but you know, but he certainly wasn't. He certainly wasn't Jewish. I'll tell you that, because you know you got Watto. You know, Watto. He was Jewish.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Who's this? Who is that?
Is that Jay Hannon in Carbonite?
That's somebody in Carbonite. I don't know if I caught their name.
Who is that? Let's see.
But I have no idea.
That's pretty cool, whoever that is. It's obviously someone who sent us that.
I don't know. When you guys send a text to that number, make sure to include your name. Because otherwise I have no.
I could just see like, you know, Darth Vader lowering Mary in the wheelchair into the Carbonite chamber, and I'm like, Mary, I love you. I know. You know.
Chad. That's Chad.
That's Chad? I didn't recognize him.
Well, that was Chad Vader, that one.
Oh, okay, Chad Vader.
Remember Chad Vader?
Yes. Chad, that's Darth's brother, Darth's goofy brother, Chad Vader.
He worked at like the grocery store or something.
Yeah, and didn't he have like a Hawaiian shirt sometimes?
Yeah.
You know what's really fun? What's really funny?
That was OG YouTube, man. Chad Vader.
What's really funny is when I go to Comic-Con, which, you know, I haven't gone because of the pandemic, damn it. But
what?
Yeah, exactly. You know, when I go to Comic-Con, there's all these cool variations of like Darth Vader and Boba Fett, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like Boba Fett, you know, I see like in a tuxedo or with like a handlebar mustache, you know, like turn of the century Boba Fett. Oh, look, there's one of the original posters. That's the Style C, I believe. Style C poster. If you're familiar with those posters, they have different letters designating each design, like the circus poster is style D, and let's
That's
see.
a cool shirt.
Style A is the classic. Oh, that's a great shirt with the original Star Wars figures on it. Those were my favorite toys growing up. I mean, they're the best toys ever. I got two of them on the shelf behind me over there. If you look, I don't know if you can see. Like right there, I have like two packaged figures that came into later from Return of the Jedi. From Return of the Jedi, right there.
You got a bike. You got a scout trooper, and then
I have a scout trooper, and then a cloud car
cloud
pilot.
Yeah,
cloud car pilot. Yeah, and then there's some of the comic books back there, some of the trade paperbacks, and look at that. That's my favorite poster, by the way. The Empire Strikes Back, the Style B poster. That's the Gone with the Wind style, where he's holding Leia down there. Come on, what's better than Empire Strikes Back? Seriously, what movie in the world was better than Empire Strikes? Nothing.
Although I've seen it a billion times, and so I could go without ever watching it ever again. But
I could watch. I have and can watch the original Star Wars trilogy 100,000 times. Jay says. Jay Hannon says Transformers are the best toys ever. No contest. Transformers were cool, and I love the cartoon. But cool. Who's this? Our young viewers. Oh, okay. Now I see in focus. Okay. Yeah, Jay, Ellie disagrees with you. She says that Star Wars are the best toys ever. What are all those beads down there? Would they go to Star Wars Mardi Gras? What's that? Oh my gosh. No, those toys are great, man. Those kids are so cute.
Thank you, Jay.
Nice. Nice. Someday, son, these Star Wars toys will all be yours.
Wow, this is getting trippy.
What's that? Waiting for that to come on my big screen.
R2D2.
That's a great R2. I love how he lights up. I have one of those motorized BB-8s that like rolls around the house. You connect it to your cell phone and like you control it remotely. It just rolls around the house. It's fucking great. I mean, it doesn't do anything but roll, but that's like a stoner teenager. He's just rolling.
Hey, Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
See you, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn. Lynn in the house, in the house, in the house. Lynn in the house, in the house, in the house.
Lynn is a longtime viewer and supporter of this channel.
Nice.
Long time. Great to see you.
Nice.
Man.
Sandra Bricorni talking about G.I. Joe. Love G.I. Joe. And yeah, I like the Kung Fu Grip ones better. I do. I like the big ones. Those are very cool. Let's see.
Yes.
Looking in the chat. Very, very cool. Yeah. So send us your Star Wars toys throughout. Send us your posters throughout. Send us your comics, photos of you holding that, whatever you got. Send us photos of all that stuff today as we go through the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool.
And by the way, you can text that number anytime throughout the week.
3 a.m, send Johnny a dick pic with a little Darth Vader helmet on the head of your shaft. So,
wow.
Yeah. Here's my Schwartz.
Hey, Bruce.
There's Bruce.
What's up, man?
Let's see. Hint for today's show and tell guitar. Darth Vader would love it. Darth Vader would love it. Mark Dillon, may the 4th be with you too, brother.
Yeah.
And 6671 also has a remote control BB-8 and frustrates his cat with it. Very nice.
Oh, come on.
Renus in the house. There you go. Oh, fuck Black Salami.
Oh.
You know what's really funny? I think Black Salami. I think Black Salami maybe a certain David Crosby. Wouldn't that be really funny if David Crosby's sitting there? Gotta type in the Beane show. Gotta tell him Star Wars sucks. Gotta tell him the whole show sucks.
You never know who's watching, man.
You never know who's watching.
Never know.
Never know. I know my mom is watching. My beloved mother was watching, and my mom's got a new dilemma in her life. This is wonderful. So she lives. Mom doesn't like to drive far. She doesn't like to drive far. So she drives down this one road by the house, and there's a shopping center real close to the house, and right over there used to be a supermarket, and that supermarket went out. Another supermarket came in, then that supermarket came out. Then this new supermarket was supposed to come in that Mom was really looking forward to. And she likes certain odd supermarkets. She likes Aldi, and she likes Trader Joe's, but this other one she really wanted to come in. And she was waiting for it, and she keeps driving by, checking, like looking for construction to start. It's like she doesn't go out of the house, except she drives by there. She's looking in the window. Are they starting yet? Is that a foreman? Hello? Are you building the supermarket yet? So she's looking forward to this new German supermarket. And I forgot the name of it. It's not Aldi, but something like an Aldi. And she at one point winds up hearing from someone there. She asks over there, have they started construction on the supermarket yet? And they're like, no, they canceled out. The supermarket said the building was too big for their brand, so they're selling it to a food court. They're building a food court there. A food court? Who needs a food court? They're supposed to put in a little Japanese restaurant, a little Chinese restaurant, a little Mexican food, and a little hot dog on a stick stand, and a Wetzel's pretzels, and like a mall food court. But it's in a strip mall, so it really makes no sense. I mean, this is like the land of like strip malls all around Long Island, New York, and there's like Lidl. Thank you, Murphy. Lidl. That's the one. You all know it. My mom's all diddling her clit. She's Lidling her clit, like all excited. She's, Lidl, wow, discounted prices, So yes, Lidl. And so she's all excited, and she finds out it's a food court, and she's like, I've got to call Lidl corporate. What are they talking about that the store's too big? They could spread out a little bit, and they could maybe rent part of it to a food court and open a Lidl in this half. This is crazy. So that's like her new obsession is she's on a mission to get a supermarket in there. She'll probably be like that one woman picketing, Lidl, which is what she did with Dad on the honeymoon. Are you coming yet? Are you coming yet? Are you coming yet? So she's got that move down pat. Lidl. So if you're in New York and you see a woman slowly picketing an empty store on Long Island, it's probably Mama Mancuda. And I feel bad for the guy that's at Lidl corporate. Hello, Lidl corporate. I'm sorry, Mrs. Who? Mancuda? Yeah? What can we do for you, Mrs. Mancuda? Okay. Well, Mrs. Mancuda, please calm down. I would not consider us not opening a store in that location a Nazi atrocity. That's kind of offensive. Could you, ma'am, please calm down? No, we open another store in a similar area to where you are. You will like it very much. Mrs. Mancuda, no, please don't come down here. No, lock the doors. No, please don't come down. I'm coming down and I'm telling you, we're going to finish this. We're not done yet. That building is perfect for a Lidl. And I promise to shop there every day. Well, we appreciate your business, Mrs. Mancuda, but we do not feel your personal shopping will make up for the $40,000 a month rent. But thank you. Yeah, so she's very, very upset about this Lidl, and this happens a lot. This happens when Rico B's posting the Lidl number in the chat. Thank you, Rico B. Mom's sitting there dialing it right now. I'm telling you, she's sitting there. Oh, by the way, check this out. I came into the new world, new phone. Look at that. Can you? Well, hold on.
Awesome.
Pink and green new iPhone in a pinkish case.
Which iPhone is that?
This is the 12. I don't know if you can see the screensaver I put on there. It's neon pink and neon green.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's hard to see on the because you got all the lights around, but let's see.
Yeah, tilt it. You just tilt it. Yeah, there.
Yeah, just saw it, but let's see. There you go. That's the color. That's the color. Neon pink and neon green. It does everything except my dick, and I'm sure there's an app for that. Because man, I've been searching the internet all freaking week. So trust me. Yeah, I hope there's an app for that. Yeah, so my mom's on another mission, and
hey, Sharon.
I hope that Sharon Osbourne's here.
Michael.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, no, I hope that my mother accomplishes something with Lidl without any bloodshed. She gets on a mission, boy. It's a rough one. Nice. Jam Corb says, I need a Nagel screensaver. I tried different patterns, but you know what? It obstructs my vision. I just like that shock of neon pink and neon green. Clayton James Hicks, 1998. Star Wars, May the 4th be with you. I guess you just got here late, but yeah, we've been talking about Star Wars so far all the time.
Clayton. Welcome, dude.
There we go. Quentin James in the house.
Star Wars t-shirts, everybody.
You bet it is. Is anyone else wearing Star Wars attire? If you are today, send us a photo. Send us a photo to that number. Janice Lala in the house. Yeah,
Janice.
So my mom's on a Lidl mission. Anyway,
I haven't even heard of Lidl, so
it's again, if it's like Aldi, which is like a German Trader Joe's, it's really good.
Aldi. I know Trader Joe's.
Aldi, we have I guess it's nationwide because we have them in New York and we have them in Cali, and they're great. They're like Trader Joe's but a little more self-service, and I mean the prices are great and the food's really good, and
smaller lines.
Yeah, I mean they're small lines. I mean, look, I'm always at Trader Joe. Also, I like them too, and I like Aldi. I mean, I like all that stuff. Mm-hmm. All those stores that like encourage you to try new foods. I'm all about those. I really like them. It's like, try our chocolate covered kumquat squid penis. All right. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll give that a shot. Cause if you don't like it, you can return it. Okay. I mean, it sounds good. Brian Spalding wants me to send him a Star Wars shirt to wear right off my back, brother. This one's coming your way right off your back. We'll wait till after the show, maybe.
Yeah, Brian, great talking to you yesterday again, Brian. And thank you so much.
Lenny Lou says, glad to hear Mama Mancuda is feeling perky. She's not feeling perky. I mean, she's obviously going through a health crisis, but look, this is her new mission in life. This gives her a reason to live. I'm not going anywhere until there's a Lidl in that store. I'll live another 30 years if it takes that. All right. Nice. Okay, let's see. What else we got? Let's see. Let's get into a little talk about music. So, a friend of mine who's actually in the chat today, Jeff Korb, guitarist Jeff Korb, if you're familiar with him.
Hey, Jeff.
He is part of a new band called TSL. Great new band from Florida, and they're not so much metal as much as like rock and roll, like kind of like an Aerosmith kind of like rock, like 70s to 90s rock, kind of like that. Heavy on guitars, very cool. And they just came out with a 4-song EP called Irreverent, Irreverent, and the band is TSL. Let's see, produced by Peter Klett from Candlebox, if you're familiar with him. And the bass player on the whole album was Adam Curry from Candlebox. So if you guys are Candlebox fans, you'll probably be very into this album. They're doing downloads now. And just to round out the band, Luis Antonio Alicia on drums. You might be familiar with him from Al Amendola's band. He also played with Julio Iglesias. And Cam Kennedy is doing vocals. So check them out. And you can check them out on, they have Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. You can download them on there. Check them out. You can also see them on YouTube if you want to get a little taste before you download your favorites. Check them out. The single is called Tears or Champagne, and it's a very cool song. So I listened to it a couple of times this week and got it. It's one of those that grows on you. It's one of those, okay, you hear it the first time. It's like, okay, so you got some good guitars in there. And then you hear it a few more times and that's in your head. Then you got a little earworm in your head. But check it out. Cool. TSL, Irreverent. I want to give them a shout out because, you always want to help out new bands. And I don't know if they're for sale at Aldi, but I know you could download them on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon.
Are there samples at Aldi?
Yeah, they give away samples. Hi, would you like to hear the new TSL scene? Let me see.
Is that him?
Okay. Yes, I'll take one. Yeah, J.M. Korb. J.M. Korb is guitarist Jeff Korb. And he's in the house. Nelson Rodriguez, holy boner, Batman. $50 fucking dollars. I don't see a penny of that fucking money. Ah! No. There's that Vader no excuse,
Thank you, Nelson.
Yeah,
well, that keeps the show on the air.
Yeah, the show costs $200 to go on the air. Johnny makes $3,000 a month off the contributions. So it's keeping the show on the air, but in style. So Johnny's like, honey, order lobster tonight. Because as soon as I'm done with the show, we're having lobster, baby. We just got $50.
Treat stream.
And the light changed. Did the light change? Yeah. It's pink now, like my phone.
Yeah.
It's pink now, like the new Mancuda phone. Look at that. Pink and green, baby. Pink and green.
Man, a new iPhone, man. That like changes everything, man.
I needed one because, and for those of you that say, Mancuda, what's going on, man? I thought, Johnny's making all the money. Where are you coming up with all this money? I saved up since 2003 when I had my last phone. My last phone was a BlackBerry 8830 World phone. So this is like saving up for like 30 or 50 upgrades from then. So.
Oh, you never had an iPhone. That's right.
I had an iPhone briefly. I had an iPhone 4, and I didn't like it as much as my BlackBerry because the BlackBerry like just had a great keyboard. But that's the iPhone. 4. Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah. I mean, even it's right here, actually. It's even on my shelf. Look. This was right after the original BlackBerry I had. I got an iPhone 4. And I wasn't crazy about it. I liked the BlackBerry better. So I went back to the BlackBerry.
You like my case?
And I've had it since then. Oh, yeah. It's like pink meets Beetlejuice. It's nice.
Yeah, I was actually when I stopped using this phone, I was using it as a brain for my synthesizer.
Brain.
For my synth. And so I got a cheap case that kind of looked like a piano keys. That's how I knew to use this with the synthesizer.
Here's my thing. I am a klutz. I'm a klutzy Jewish klutz. It's like Usually, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about us Jews. A lot of us Jews are klutzy, but I'm really a klutz. I'm like, I'm that guy that, walks around like, hey, Schmagegi, what are you doing? Oy vey! Oy vey, the phone! Oy vey! I'm that guy. So what I wanted was an OtterBox. And this generation of OtterBox, I mean, you could throw these things off a building and they'll be fine.
Let's see. Throw it against the wall.
Well, I'm going to toss it out my window and watch it drop all the stories. I'll be like, oh,
drop on that guy that was
it's okay.
There.
It's okay, but that guy's out cold, Yeah. So I wanted as close to neon pink as possible, and OtterBox doesn't make it for this generation, so they make like a blackberry kind of, or blackberry, like a boysenberry looking color. It's like a purplish dark pink with a dark pink frame. That's the closest I could find. So I made my screensaver neon pink and green, just so I could get my colors in there like more efficiently, and basically, Senator Corney's asking, what have I air fried lately, if anything? I'm actually going to air fry this phone in this case just to see if the OtterBox can stand up to it. I've been air frying a lot of fish. I have an air fryer, and Sandra and Gary actually inspired me to get one, and it's great. And I make chicken wings and stuff, but I have a lot of fish I cook in there and chicken wings. So I've cooked a lot of fish lately. Let's see.
Cool.
Who was it? Oh, Rico B says, if I throw it out the window, I might hit that homeless guy. Yeah, that homeless guy last time. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brian Spalding says, I'm a klutz, not Jewish, but my father calls me a brokenik. It's true, man. When you're a klutz, you need an OtterBox. You need something that literally is like 4 times the military level of drop, so that like when you drop it, not if, when you drop it, drive in the car, you pull out, you run over. The OtterBox keeps it safe, because these things are not freaking cheap, and that's really frustrating in itself. But when you run over it or lose it or drop it or something like that, you'll cry when you lose something like this. So I got an OtterBox for it, and I got a glass screen protector from another company, I forget. And
John Bell, what is that?
Yeah, I know. John Bell's like, why do you ask me stupid questions? I don't want some of that $50. The John Biel signal goes in the air. That's the screensaver for a phone. If John Biel doesn't have that as the screensaver on his phone, man,
Actually, he should have the screensaver.
There you go. That's another good one. John
Colonels.
Biel and Colonels gourmet popping corn. Delicious Colonels gourmet popping corn. When you order from Colonels, they have gourmet popcorn, they have chocolate, they have sweets, they have sugar-free stuff. Just don't ask. Just go to the website, Colonels Gourmet Popcorn, and mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon, and holy hell, they'll give you more product. They'll give you bigger bags. I mean, Jesus. You go and get some Colonels, and get me some movie popcorn while you're at it. Colonel's Gourmet. Yeah. Delicious.
Amazing.
Colonels. Really is good stuff. And I'm out of my favorite flavor. It's driving me crazy. I got to get some more. Let's see. Hip Metalworks. Good evening from beautiful Vancouver Island. How are you, man? David Shea Garmery is going to make the John Biel signal as his iPhone wallpaper. That'd be really funny. We should sell like iPhone wallpaper. All of Cobra Kai's designs. We'll have the Cobra Kai shop.
It's easy to do. It's easy to do.
You just take the photo, just steal the photo, save it, and hit the like button if you're celebrating Star Wars Day with us. We appreciate that.
And share this video out. Share this video out from on Twitter. Tweet it out.
Anyone you're mad at, send a link to this video. For Mother's Day, you should do that. That's another thing. Mother's Day is coming up. I'm so bummed because this is going to be my second Mother's Day ever that I'm not with my mother. I have gone through hell and high water usually to make it possible to be with my mother on Mother's Day. No matter where I am in the world, I have always flown home for Mother's Day. So that really bums me out, but I'll do special stuff for Mom. But, you know, it just sucks. It's like, you know, I get my second vaccine shot tomorrow, which all of you should strongly consider. And, you know, look, a month from now, I'll be able to see Mama Cuda. And I really, really want to. So, you know, that's why I got mine, you know, because I desperately miss Mama Cuda. But, you know, next week's Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, this
right?
coming Sunday. So less than a week. So I'm thinking of getting Mom like one of those R2D2 vibrators. You know, it looks like, do you know what I'm talking about, Johnny?
No.
Google Star Wars sex toys. You'll see what I'm talking about. Google that.
Mm-hmm.
No, right now, Johnny. Do it right now.
I'm not. Well, hang on. I'm not logged in.
Well,
Here,
now's a good time. Tatooine. Even if I'm on Tatooine, I make a point to go back home to spend Mother's Day with my mother. Let's see. I'm Googling it right now. Let's see. Star Wars sex toys. I mean, they have lightsabers. I mean, look at this. This is great for the Jedi in you. Let's see. Oh, this is awesome. Hold on. Here's hold on a second. I gotta screen grab this. Bear with me here. Here's
Leave a thumbs up.
Here's Mom's Mother's Day gift. Johnny, isolate me. There we go. There's Mom's Mother's Day gift. This one's coming at you, Ma. No.
That actually looks like a pen that I have.
Oh, Lord Vader. You used to be so badass, and now you're massaging my clitoris.
They sold these Star Wars pens, that talking pens, back in the late.
No, and you turn the speed. I am your father. Yeah, so there's Darth Vibrator. That's coming to you, Mama Mancuda. I'm sending her that. But they make others. Let's see. What else they got? Yeah, no, there's a whole mess of this one's nice here. This one's another one I'm considering. I'm gonna help ask the audience to help me pick one for Mom, so I know which one to get. Here's another one. This is R2V2. Oh, there's the droids I'm looking for. Those are the droids I'm looking for. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Oh, R2, get out of there. R2. Yeah, no wonder what Leia was left alone with that droid. Let's see what else we got. No, these are great. Is that my mom making that noise? Oh, here's another nice one. Well, wait, let's see. Not that. Bear with me. This is Johnny's job, but I'm gonna do that. Johnny's counting the money today. Let's see. Wait. Let's see. Where is this? Oh, look. Oh, this one I might get for myself. This one is one for me. I might get this while I'm shopping for Mom. This is Han Solo in carbonite. There you go. So I might get that one for myself. That's Han Solo.
Who would use that? That's
me. What are you talking about? I'm desperate.
That's awful.
You bet I'm using that.
Brian Spalding, of course, man, definitely.
Baby, you make me hard like carbonite. Ooh. I mean,
And Brian, thank you so much, man.
What guy? Brian's gonna get you one of these?
No, he's giving me
Oh.
something else,
Oh,
which I'll talk about at some point.
oh well.
Very nice gift.
Oh, this one's even better, Johnny. This is gonna be my gift to you. You know, you always think, you know, the most anal droid in the world is C-3PO. Is those? Oh, the odds of that! Oh dear, no! Oh, don't go that way! Oh, he's so anal. He's so anal. Now he's really anal because there is your C-3PO butt plug. There you go. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Oh, yes, it is.
These aren't the roids you're looking for.
These aren't the hemorrhoids you're looking for. Mom, what do you think? Mom, chime in if you want this C-3PO butt plug. Let me know.
Look at his face.
She's, oh dear, I'm going in there. It's gone. It's like that scene in Empire where the Millennium Falcon's like, this isn't a cavern. And, you know, they fly out and it's really down a creature's throat, you know? There you go. Oh, dear. Oh, my. I'm going in again. Oh no. Easy. Great. So let's see what else we got. They really put a lot of effort into that. I appreciate good craftsmanship. I really do. Or craftsmanship when it comes to that. Oh, here you go. This one. This is great. So, you know, the Jedi have a thing where you know, you choose what color lightsaber you have, you know, shows what you know, what sect of the Jedi Order you are. You know, are you know, more toward the chaotic, or you more to, you know, sort of your allegiance. So, you know, this also lets you choose your lightsaber color, which is great. I like that. Hold on. There we go. That's great. So you can choose your color. What color Jedi do you want to be, Mom? These are all very, very good Mother's Day gifts. You know, and I'm very excited. Let's see. Oh, this is good. This is fun. For the pain and pleasure my mother often likes to induce. This is a Jedi flogger. This is fun. So it's got a Jedi lightsaber handle. It's fucking lights here, man. There it is.
That just looks like a limp lightsaber.
Yeah, it looks like a limp something. No. Yeah, so it's a lightsaber. It's actually Darth Vader's color. So actually, it looks like one of the Darth Maul ones with the double ends, so to speak. So that's kind of fun. And for any of those that want it, I'll give them a plug. It's geekysextoys.com. That's kind of fun. We'll give them a little plug since we're using their website. And if you tell them Johnny Beane sent you, they'll sue Johnny Beane.
Yeah, that's why I'm saving up.
Tell him, Johnny. See, yeah, Johnny, that money's all going for the legal fund, the legal defense fund for all the cease and desists we've collected over the show, which is pretty much every week.
Eventually, I will get sued for something that you have said. So
I know. Speaking of,
I am saving up. Thank you.
Speaking of bondage and lawsuits, Bang Energy Drink. Bang Energy Drink, delicious Bang Energy Drink. You can also use the can as a sex object, but you'd preferably drink it first because it's delicious. Brand new Delish Strawberry Kiss. Currently my new favorite flavor. Really good. Thank you, Bang Energy Drink, for appearing on our show every week. We appreciate that. And finally, and let's see, finally from this website for my mom, I know Mom will love for Mother's Day a wonderful Death Star ball gag. Let's see. There we go. There you go. So Mom put the Death Star down your hungry cock-loving gullet. And there you are. Oh, no, John. It's a death station. Why would I want that strapped in my mouth? I don't know. When you're having that 3PO butt plug rammed in there. Oh, dear. As Obi-Wan Kenobi said, that's no moon. So there you go. Some great gifts for Mom, courtesy of the Johnny Beane Show.
I can only imagine the BO that the person has that uses any of that stuff, man. Ugh.
What are you talking about?
Awful.
What, from Bang Energy Drink?
No, all those devices and stuff.
Oh, what BO? What? It's, we all like sex. Everybody likes sex. If you like sex, leave a thumbs up in the on the video, please. Janice wants to know, does Bang Energy Drink give you energy? I don't know, Janice. Do I ever look tired on this show? Yeah, it does. It gives you great energy. It really does. And it tastes good. So,
oh my gosh.
There you go.
I can't.
Johnny, did we get $250?
I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean? No, pay attention.
Jabio.
People are contributing to the show. Johnny's not even counting the money. It's just rolling in. Nelson Rodriguez chalked up another $50. Thank you, man.
Nelson, thank you, man.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. This show makes so much money. It's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Let's see. I'm going to just rewind the chat a little bit. Hip Metalworks just got out of work. Thank you, brother. Glad you're joining us for Star Wars Day. Clearly, we're celebrating with the Force is strong in you. Oh, the Force is strong in me. Oh. Sure is. Yeah, please leave a thumbs up. Let's see. What else we got? David Shea Gomery says we should sell Star Wars toys. He'd buy them to support the show. That's not a bad idea. Should sell Star Wars sex toys.
You want to get sued? That's the way to start.
George Lucas is watching right now. Let's see. Jay Hannon says C13PO.
Oh yeah.
Pen 13.
That's an old one.
Let's see. I'm just looking in the chat. My Mr. Hellstorm 74. My mom says there's a disturbance in the Force. Oh. Mike Johnson says Jabba the Butt. Plug.
Mm-hmm.
Bozique in the house.
Bozique.
Mancuda, buy the anal intruder from the Val Kilmer movie Top Secret. You know, it was my favorite movie sex toy was in Euro Trip, which I had a cameo in. The German sex house. Bring in the Wangelschluger. And this guy's coming in with this machine gun looking thing with a spinning set of dildos.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Euro Trip.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, Halface says, is there a Sarlacc pit? Oh, I have my own Sarlacc pit.
No. No. That's awful.
The Coochie Crystal. Let's see. Looking in the chat. Mama Mancuda is saying, John, please order me the double-ended Farth Maldo. Let's see. Catch up in the chat. Catch up in the chat. Catch it up in the chat. Let's see.
Leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, please leave a thumbs up for Star Wars Day.
Oh, yeah. One of the most important
Days of the
holidays.
year. Days of the year, yeah.
Star Wars holidays.
Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Looking in the chat. Looking in the chat. Jam of the butt. Jesus Racing, was there ever any Star Wars stuff on Hollywood Treasure? I think we had some Star Wars props in there somewhere. I don't remember what. I think we did. I know I've handled Star Wars stuff over the years, but
there might have been a collection. Was it that show? I remember I seeing some show or some clip where a guy goes to somebody's house and the entire house is like Star Wars.
I mean, we've done shows like that before.
Like the helmets, they had helmets on display. And
yeah, we've done shows like that before. I think maybe we had on Hollywood Treasure like I'm trying to remember if we had like, I want to say like a stormtrooper helmet or something like that. I mean, I've handled like a lot of things like lightsabers and real costumes and actual Darth Vader stuff. Oh, look, we're done with the sex toy segment, and now Amanda Coombs comes. There you go. A little late, but better late than never. Amanda, by the way, Amanda on Facebook today had a great photo of herself dressed up as Rey from Star Wars, one of the sequels. Really looked great. Really great photo, Amanda. Really cool. Let's touch on some music news and some metal stuff. Let's get to talking. So we mentioned TSL's new album Irreverent. Check that out on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. Check out their single Tears or Champagne. So we said that. Let's also wish, here's another big deal tonight. Happy birthday, 70th birthday to Mick Mars of Motley Crue.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and Brian Spalding, LA's full of sex shops. We got them everywhere, like strip clubs. We got them everywhere. Yeah, so Mick Mars, 70 years. I was asked the other day what's going on with his new album that was supposed to come out, and I don't think it came out yet. I think it's supposed to come out still, but I don't think it's out yet. I think someone would have sent me a comp of it or something by now, but it's not out yet. I don't think. I think it's just been pushed back a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it because Mick is like an amazing guitar player that, on his own. I mean, again, he plays with Crue and he's great at it. Again, he's one of those guitar heroes that's not really like per se like a Steve Vai or George Lynch standout guitar hero, but he just writes and plays good melodic music, and he just, he's consistent with it. And I think his solo album is going to show a little bit more versatility, not just his, Motley Crue melodic playing, but a little more of really what the guy can do. This is like a true labor of love for him. And he's 70, like, I mean, that's not old, but it's getting up there. And, you wonder, like, how many years we have with each of these. Mick is, not in great health for 70. And he's put his body through a lot of torture. He has a debilitating spine disease. And, I kind of just hope that, is that Mick? Is that him coughing? Mick?
I hope not.
I heard is that Mick? I hear coughing. Is that him? Oh, anyway, yeah. So, originally in 2016, he did 2 tracks with John Corabi, who he did, of course, was the frontman of Motley Crue when Vince was gone in 1994, when they had that fallout for a while. And, Vince and, Vince coming back left Karabi in the cold, but, Karabi obviously went on to do other things, but, Mick is working on his new album and has Karabi on there. I'm wondering if those 2 tracks they did in 2016 will ever see the light of day. I'm wondering if those will be on there. I'm very, very curious. Amanda Coombs posted her costume photo in the Discord. Check it out. And yeah, check it out. She looks great. There's that Discord.
Yeah. That's where I saw it.
And Halface brings up a great point that Mick is now the same age as Ace Frehley, because Ace just also turned 70. I think Alice Cooper also is right about that age. All our heroes are getting up there. So see live music while you can. When that stadium tour comes around, boys and girls, check that out and buy up a seat. So happy birthday, McMars. That's very cool. Speaking of Motley Crue, Johnny, who do you think out of the 4 members of Motley Crue has the most money? Who's worth the most? You have Tommy, Nikki, Vince, and Mick. Who out of the 4?
I'd say it's between Tommy and what's the other guy?
Well, all right. What's that? I'm not giving you the answer. Listen, you lazy bastard. All right.
I met the guy.
Tommy, Nikki, Vince, or Mick. Who has the most money?
Nikki. Between Nikki and Tommy. That's a tough one. Let's ask the chat what they think.
I'm looking at the chat. The chat's giving in answers. I want to see what the chat thinks. The chat's already piling on answers.
If you want to talk royalties,
the most money. Who's worth the most money out of Motley
Crue? As far
as
as royalties, I would say Nicky, because I think he was wasn't he like one of the main writers for the band?
Yes,
I think. But if you look at somebody like outside of the band, like doing other things, I would think Tommy.
Okay. Now that's a good answer. Now you're half right because it's actually a tie between 2 members. Actually, the most money and the least money are both ties. 2 members are worth the most and 2 members are worth the least.
Both their names end in the same, same sound.
Well, here's the thing. Through the chat, almost everyone is saying Nikki is worth the most. And honestly, when I was asked that question, that was my answer too, because Nikki is the main writer and he's the glue that holds the band together and he's never left the band and whatever. I was very surprised to see it was a tie between Tommy and Mick. And I'll tell you the reasons.
Mick Jagger?
Yeah, right. Tommy and Mick at 70 million apiece. And I'll tell you why. Tommy, of course, has done other things. He's done other projects as well. And he's never left the band. And then Mick has never left the band and also does some of the writing. He writes, all the guitar melodies and, he does some of the writing. So he's in there. And both of them have not had substance problems the way that Nikki has. And Nikki apparently blew a lot of money during a period of time that he was just going through all his money for drugs. So he probably, if he didn't have a drug problem, I would say that Nikki probably would have, been at the top of the world there, And David Shea Gomery's right. Tommy did leave the band. I'm sorry. I stand corrected in 99, but that was kind of like when it was really not going on.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, no one would. No. Realistically, let's put a realistic spin on it. Motley Crue was not putting out good material in 1999. So this wasn't a time for Motley Crue to make money. They made most of their money on their first 5 albums. I mean, that's where all the money and the touring and whatever. and then they all did their separate stuff pretty much. But the bottom line is, hey, Laz, music therapy Laz in the house. But the bottom line is, Nicky, for all his writing and publishing and stuff like that, he went through a long period where a lot of it went to drugs. And, he talks about, congratulations, by the way, if anyone from the crew camp is listening, also please wish Nicky congratulations, because he just celebrated 20 years sober and clean. And that's a huge, huge accomplishment. I mean, this is a guy who was literally clinically dead from heroin overdose. So, I mean, it's always great to see when someone is, beating the disease of alcoholism or drug addictions. And I'm really glad he got, help and checked out, sober living. So that's really great. But 20 years sober. And again, he made a public statement. Look, I was a mess for the longest while. It cost me a lot of money. It cost me relationships. It cost me my family. At one point, it cost me my life. And, he's lucky to have not only lived, but realized it. And now he's sober and kicking more ass than ever. And God bless him for it. So congratulations to Nicky Sixx for 20 years sober. So Mick Mars worth 70 million, Tommy Lee worth 70 million, Nicky worth 50 million, which, hey, not bad. More than me, and almost as much as Johnny.
Very close.
Well, look, depending what comes in money contributions, Johnny's almost there. So, I mean, he's closing in on the 50 million zone. I'm 1,000 myself, so I'm pretty proud of that. Let's see. And Vince left the band. Vince left the band for a while, and that cost him. In the long run, that cost him. And, he didn't have the writing profits that Nicky and I imagine Mick did. So that also is a factor. But look, again, 50 million, not bad. I remember a magazine cover in the 80s. It was like a legitimate business magazine. And it was Vince Neil on the cover, lighting a cigar with $100 bill and celebrating that they just signed like a $5 million deal or something. And I was just like, well, that's a good amount of money. But I mean, you're looking back, it's like now you're worth 70 million and 50 million and, crazy amounts of money. Who, by the way, Johnny, do you and the chat feel is the most wealthy music star ever? Who's the big one? No cheating, no asking John BL.
Living
or dead?
Like, you mean a state?
Who is the biggest, who is the richest, most wealthy music star ever? Ever. And the chat is coming in hot. Let's see. David Shea Gomery says Paul McCartney. Jesus rapes me, Paul McCartney. How face Paul McCartney.
They must have read the story already.
And Mr. Hellstorm also says Vince blew a lot of money on his race car dreams. That's true. He did. He absolutely did. That was like a money pit. Jimmy Buffett, Mike Johnson guesses Paul McCartney. Murphy messes McCartney. Pooh Ninja says Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is in my pants.
I don't know about McCartney because, Michael Jackson swooped in.
She says Madonna. She says Madonna. The Michael Jackson McCartney story is the best one. That is my favorite one. I'll tell in a minute when once I get the answer to this question. Okay, most of you guys in the chat have it. It is Paul McCartney with a net worth. You ready for this, Johnny? 1.2 billion with a buh. You better do it twice. I said billion with a buh.
Well, he was a Beatle, so
he wasn't just a Beatle. I mean, him and John wrote the songs, and then he continued on solo career, and he did the thing with Michael Jackson, and he did, with Wings, and I mean, Paul McCartney, $1.2 billion. For those of you thinking of being a rock star, Yeah, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. I have to say, it doesn't.
And he's
suck.
a bass player. See,
Yeah, no, bass doesn't suck.
he's the richest bass player there ever was.
Am I too late to guess? Is it David Crosby?
Is it me?
No. right in the groin, David Crosby. No. Nope. Sorry, David Crosby, Voodoo Doll. It is Paul McCartney. And yeah, $1.2 billion. Now, here's the thing with the Beatles song rights and publishing. In 1969, Paul and John wanted to buy the songs, but they got outbid by a music company. Then you got in 1985, that music company was for sale, so Paul had a second chance. And Paul was going for it. He's like telling his, at the time, very close friend, Michael Jackson, who he just did a song with, Say, Say, Say. Where's the little boys? Did you bring little boys? I don't see no children. Yeah, so Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson just finished a song together. They were good friends. I mean, you're the elite of the music world. You hang out with the rest of the elite of the music world. And he's telling Michael Jackson, he's like, I'm going to invest some of my money. I'm going to buy my publishing rights to the Beatles next week. It's up for sale. Oh, is that a good investment? I'm looking for investments. Oh, yeah. You can buy publishing rights. They're wonderful investments. You should invest in some. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. And sure enough, Paul McCartney was outbid by his buddy, Michael Jackson, to the tune of, well, let's put it this way. It originally sold, the publishing rights originally sold in 1985 to Michael Jackson for $47.5 million. The publishing rights to the Beatles catalog. Now, Paul, of course, was like, what the fuck did you do? You outbid me? Oh, well, you said it was a good investment, so I figured if I'm going to invest in publishing rights, I should buy the best, which is you. They never healed up after. He was like, you motherfucker. So they never made up after that. Paul considered it like the greatest betrayal ever was Michael Jackson snaking him out of the Beatle publishing rights and outbidding him behind his back. So he never forgave him for that. What if I invite some children over? We could all have a party in a hot tub. Come on, Paul. No, they never made up for that. Anyway, so Paul eventually tried to go for a U.S. law that said after 56 years, and this is a U.S. law, after 56 years, a musical artist has the right to buy back their publishing rights. They have that right of first refusal to buy back after 56 years the publishing rights. So 56 years and a day after the first Beatles song, Love Me Do, came out, Paul tried that, and the court basically said, sorry, it's a U.S. law, and we're here in Britain. So you can't do that. But in the end, Paul was still going through court battle trying to do this. And in 2017, he was able to come to a settlement to get these rights again, because they were up for sale again. And get this now, in 2017, Sony was trying to buy them, and Paul McCartney was able to negotiate. They were up for sale for $750 million. And McCartney, for an undisclosed sum, was able to negotiate that under the table and retain his rights. So now the Beatles catalog publishing rights are with Paul McCartney, which is really interesting. And he's, of course, pissing on Michael Jackson's grave. And he is now worth $1.2 billion with a B dollars. So,
wow.
Doesn't suck to be in the music business sometimes. And hey, Alice Martinez, how are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also, he is, like I said, I mean, he was a Beatle, so he was the
Beatle. He was,
one of the greatest.
Out of the Beatles, he was everyone's favorite. he carried, arguably the more successful solo career out of them. I mean, look, all of them had solo careers that were successful. John Lennon, successful solo career. George Harrison, clearly successful solo career. And Ringo Starr and his all-star band, successful solo career. But if you go down the line of which solo career was the best, Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney keeps coming out with these albums that are just instant platinum, and he keeps doing it, and he still looks amazing. And by the way, let me correct myself. Sir Paul McCartney, because he did achieve knighthood as well. So go figure. The story of Paul McCartney chasing publishing rights and stealing them away from Michael Jackson. Yeah, so that's a big deal, man. So there we go. The richest members of Motley Crue. What else did I have in Motley Crue news?
The members of Motley Crue combined, you can't touch Paul McCartney, man.
No, you really
at
can't.
all with anything,
Yeah.
But
I shoot my Motley goo on them. Yeah, Vince Neil wishes as much as I love Motley Crue, Vince absolutely wishes he could achieve Paul McCartney status, but that ain't happening. Let's see. Paul McCartney, 20 sober. Okay, so that's Motley Crue news.
Ended with Paul McCartney.
And Paul McCartney, who, as he should, has the last laugh. I mean, he is a Beatle.
He's still active, too, even today.
Yeah, no, guys popping down to Capitol Records. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. It doesn't stop, and they keep cranking out hits, man. So if you want to be rich like Paul McCartney and you're celebrating Star Wars Day, please leave a thumbs up. Thank you, Michael Merce, who I gave a shout out to earlier in the show. I knew you'd be here.
Michael.
And
Nightbot. When ordering from Tessie Switch, use code JohnnyBean15 at tessieswitch.com/shop. I don't have a Tessie Switch to show because it's packed up in this case back here I'm mailing out.
But we do know that Tessie Switch makes the greatest kill switches for guitars ever. Ever, I say.
If Paul McCartney was to get one, I'm sure he would get one from Tessie Switch.
I really do want a Tessie Switch.
In the Beatle bass.
Boom, 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 boom. Love me do. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, you know I love you. That'd be fun. Now I know what to get Paul for his birthday. Let's see. Speaking of Pauls, and we're missing one today. Let's talk about Paul Stanley. Paul Stanley in the news today, talking about he's 69 years old and his body has been through murder. And he explained it really well this way. Okay, so there's no 50 or 60-year-old baseball or football players, right?
Actively playing, you mean?
Well, yeah,
or just around
playing. We know that. I see Joe Namath there trying to steal my home with a second mortgage, and you can do a reverse mortgage, and it won't cost you a dime. You can live off the money, and we'll steal your house from your kids. Show them. Tell them Joe Namath sent you. Yeah. No, there's plenty of old football players, but actively playing. There's no 50 or 60-year baseball or football players. And Paul Stanley explains it like this. Look, here I am, 69 years old, and I have 40 pounds of gear on me, much like a football player, and I'm running around the stage with a guitar strapped to me, playing the guitar, hopefully playing it accurately, in platform heels that are this big. I'm doing dance moves and all sorts of fancy moves. I'm climbing up, swinging across the audience. Leave Ooh, Black Diamond. Yeah, so he's doing all that. He's playing chords. He's singing. He's got to play with the microphone. He's doing all that. 40 pounds of gear, and that's really rough on your body at any age. That's rough on your body if you're a football player. Now imagine you're a 69-year-old man, 69-year-old Jewish man. I got to point out. And his body has gone through 2 rotator cuff repairs, two knee cartilage replacements, a hip replacement, a bicep tendon repair. I mean, I'm starting to wonder, like, are all those, like, repaired knees, replaced hips, are those like Kiss parts that they sell in the Kiss merch store? I knew when I was getting my hip replaced that other fans would also eventually want to follow me and have their hip replaced. So what we did, we made the Kiss hip replacement kit, and what it is, it's got the Kiss logo on it, and it's an artificial fiberglass hip. Gene came up with the idea. We also have hip kneecaps, elbows. We have all sorts of repaired bones. We have little Kiss screws that could go into your leg if you fall off your skateboard. We do it for the fans because we really care about the fans. So yeah, that'd be great if they're like hip, Kiss replacement hips and stuff, and the Kiss wheelchair, the Kiss walker. I mean, all that, stamped Kiss merch. I mean, look, they have the Kiss coffin, so it's just one step before that you'd have, like, some Kiss hip replacement kit. I mean, you close it into that Kiss coffin. But he says, his dad is 101 years old and still going. Think about that. I mean, the guy has really great genetics,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to keep going, man. I mean,
well, they have the End of the Road tour going on. And again, like I said, the funny thing about the End of the Road tour is, obviously due to the pandemic, the tour stopped temporarily, and they're like 2.5 years away from their 50th anniversary, which, as any Kiss fan knows, Gene and Paul are not going to miss a money-making opportunity to cash in on Kiss 50th anniversary editions of everything. The t-shirts, the stickers, they will have a special Kiss 50 logo on everything. And then I'm sure they will have a 50th anniversary remaster of every album. I mean, just everything. And yeah, Sandra Picorni, great genetics equals great plastic surgeon. Absolutely. I mean, the guy's obviously had plastic surgery. But look, if I could be 69, so many jokes. If I could be 69 and look like him and, be worth, $500 million. I would absolutely, take a little nip and tuck, man. It helps everybody. I'll do a nip and tuck when I need it. Absolutely. I'll go right under that knife. Absolutely. I'm going to get all of it. I'll get all of it. Tighten, my neck starts flailing like a turkey. Tighten it up, nip it, tuck it. When balls start hitting the floor or dipping into the toilet water, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to, get those reeled in. Doctors will raise them up a little like the Jolly Roger. I'll get it all. Yeah. You name it. Yeah. So I absolutely think that even though Kiss is on the End of the Road tour, it's going to come up to at least 2022, and I'm trying to think. I think that's 1 year away. I think they were like formed in 73, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's 1 year away. And, hey, Gene, I was thinking of just, laying back. Oh, we could start merchandising the fuck out of everything. I think they're going to go for the merch. So,
hey, Garguts.
Garguts Entertainment in the house. Yo.
Is it your birthday, man?
Is it?
Sandra says, "Happy birthday, Gargets Entertainment." Happy birthday,
Happy
dude!
birthday,
if it is
Gargets. Same birthday as Mick Mars.
Mars.
And your birthday is on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Wow.
Star Wars Day, man. That's awesome.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah, really. Tube Supio in the house too. Now it's getting better all the time. Yeah. So, what I was saying is, so the end of the road tour, Kiss is going through that, and there, it's not continuing yet, but this was interesting that it was put out there recently, and this has gone back and forth over the years. When they started this, final end of the road tour, everyone was asking, you going to do Ace and Peter? You're going to do Ace and Peter? And, Peter was just like, I don't know. And Ace was like, well, I'm not going to do anything if someone else is going to be wearing my makeup, and, they got to push Tommy out of there, or, take him out of the makeup and put me in the makeup. That's my character. I created him. I designed him. I wore the makeup.
Why not have two
playing.
aces?
It's my playing. Hey, listen, why don't we have a full house? Everyone dressed like Ace.
Have an ace on each side.
Well, look, at the same time, if you have the real Ace, honestly, I don't want to see Tommy as Ace. If Ace is there, I mean, that's just a slap in the face.
Have Ace, a slap on the ace. Have Ace on stage and have Tommy in the back actually playing the parts.
Making fun of him.
No.
No, look, look, Tommy was never in the band without the Ace makeup, but he is basically playing Ace Frehley, so there's no need. If you have Ace there's no need for Tommy to play Ace. You could have Tommy there, just do him without makeup. And same thing with
John Biel.
Same thing with John Biel on drums. John Biel doesn't need to play Peter Criss. No. I'm saying Eric Singer. Eric Singer is playing the Catman right now. Eric Singer is playing the Catman right now. And if you have, the real Peter Criss, you don't want to have Eric Singer there playing Peter Criss, But look, Eric Singer was in the band first without makeup. He was, I think, for years he's been in that band without makeup.
What they can do is they can do some songs with them without everybody without makeup, and then have the original lineup come out with makeup.
Well, here's the problem. The original lineup always has to have makeup because that makeup takes hours to put on. Like literally, it takes a long time, a lot longer than you expect it to.
Then the opposite. End the show with no makeup. They just wipe it off.
Which is what, yeah. Oh, you say I got a evil mind. Yeah, no. Look, you have them through the show in their makeup. But here's the thing. For years, it's been asked, hey, it's the last tour. You got to have Ace and Peter in there somewhere. And for a while, Paul and Gene were like, well, we have Eric and we have Tommy. Yeah, we have John Biel. We really don't need it. But look, the fact is, for the fans, as Paul likes to say, for the fans, they should probably have at some point kind of everybody that was in Kiss, even to some extent, have Vinnie Vincent come on at one point and, play Lick It Up with them. Have Bruce Kulick come on and, play some stuff from Crazy Nights or Revenge. I mean, you should have those guys there to really round them out. But when it came to Ace and Peter, Ace really wasn't going for it. And, Paul and Gene weren't going for it. And Peter just kind of didn't want really anything to do with it. But now Paul put it out in the air that he would be open. And I love when things get out in the air, because once it's out in the universe, then you got
leak.
Yeah, then you got all these. Well, no, you got all these people. Once someone drops a little dime onto the media, it travels like wildfire because all the fans are like, oh my God, you gotta get Ace and Peter in there. Paul's open to it, guys, you got. And then the rumors start and the wildfire starts, and everyone's all excited at the thought of it, and then offers start coming in, then money starts getting offered, and then deals get done. It's the same thing we were talking about. Rat possibly. Now it's in the air that they're all kind of willing to maybe get together. Dokken is getting back together for a little bit with George Lynch for a series of shows. Wow. I still think they're keeping John Levin in the band, but again, like they've done with Bruce Kulick, they're gonna do a series, with Lynch. But once these rumors and out in the air thoughts get out there, it's the catalyst of deals getting done because then money starts getting offered. And this is what's out in the air now that Paul said, I am open to doing something with Peter and Ace possibly joining in on some sort of capacity, not for the full tour, but, a couple of shows, something like that. If it works out right, I'm open to it. Gene's open to it. So now Ace Frehley is questioned, hey, did you hear that this is out in the atmosphere now? It's floating around in the universe that Paul and Gene say in some capacity when that tour gets back online, you could maybe be some small part with it. So I'm very curious what your thoughts are. And Ace basically said, well, if I do it, if it's something that we can all agree, it's got to be right. And the price has to equal the value of it. It's got to be the right money. And a lot of times that's what it boils down to. Because you look at what happened with, Slash and Axl when Guns N' Roses got back together, what it all come down to. Money being offered to them, so much money being offered to even the most stubborn people couldn't resist. And same thing with George Lynch and Dokken during those 7 Japanese shows a few years back. Certain amount of money gets thrown at the artists. You can't resist it. You gotta, at some point, say to yourself, wow, that sure is a lot of money that I'm getting offered. I should probably, take a look at those offers more seriously. And now Ace is putting out in the world that, well, if the money was right, hint, hint, and I'd want to be in my own makeup, which, look, we want Ace in his own makeup too. It would be crazy. Could you even imagine if Ace is on stage, no makeup, and there's Tommy Thayer in makeup playing next to him? That would look stupid. So it's got to be Ace in his own makeup. Word is still out if Peter would respond to that offer. I met family members of Peter, I guess a year ago, and they kind of just told me that he just really wants nothing to do with Kiss at this point. But again, who knows if the right money is thrown at them. Now, with that said, would Paul and Gene care enough to bring them onto a show or 2 or 3 or a leg of the tour enough to pay that? What the fuck are you doing?
Trying to adjust the
Oh, hold on. Let me do what you were doing. Yeah, hold on. Wait. Hold on, Johnny. Let me. Yeah, okay, hold on, Johnny. Wait. We're just. Hold on. Johnny, hold on. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're good.
My chair was bumping my mic stand. The legs of my mic stand.
Jesus Christ! It sounds like a drum roll was on your mic stand.
I just woke everybody up.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Thanks. That's great. It's good to know our audience is sound asleep and could really use a Bang energy drink right about now.
Oh,
yummy. Leave a thumbs up for Bang energy drink. Anyway, the bottom line is, would Gene and Paul care enough to bring them offers to bring them on the tour? Would it make a difference? Because look, they're selling out very well as it is. Everyone knows Kiss has a massive following. So would you think that the Gene and Paul would make those sort of offers to Ace and Peter? I guess time will tell, but what might happen, and here's Mancuda doing his Karnak prediction. Let's see. The answer is 50th anniversary. What would Gene and Paul pay Ace and Peter money for them to join? Yeah. So my guess is that either toward the end of the tour, they'll probably either come to some agreement for those last few shows. Again, probably ending in Madison Square Garden, if my understanding is correct, where they first starred. But my other prediction is that with the 50th anniversary coming up in the rearview mirror really fast, I'm wondering if they would try to get them together for a end of the road original lineup set of shows. Just saying, another opportunity to make a lot of money, again, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe at some point they will make offers to Ace and Peter. And, Paul said it best recently. He's like, look, Ace and Peter were there at the beginning, and we would never have done the success we had without Ace and Peter. But with that said, with Ace and Peter, if they had stayed in the band, we would never have achieved the success level that we're at today. So, that's a very interesting point, because you got to think about that. Kiss was petering out, pardon the pun, at the end of the 70s during the disco era. They lost a huge chunk of their own fan base. Ace and Peter at that point were really like, kind of being boat anchors compared to Paul and Gene work ethic wise. And Vinnie Vincent, when the makeup came out, had to be that fresh blood that, literally saved Kiss, reinvented Kiss as a no makeup, while not unique, a no makeup 80s, hair band, for lack of a better term.
But they were still Kiss.
They were still Kiss. They were still Kiss.
They had the advantage over those newer bands that were coming out. And Margaret, great to see you, Margaret.
Good to see you, Margaret Scranton. They had an advantage, but they also had a disadvantage. The disadvantage was the stigma. Could Kiss still be Kiss without makeup? Could they still draw an audience without the gimmicks, without the makeup? Would that makeup hold in this new genre of, glam and stuff like that,
They'd really have. I mean, that's where they really have to bring it with the music, with the songs. If they don't have that gimmick of the makeup and
love him or hate him. That's what Vinnie Vincent brought. Vinnie was already a great writer. Vinnie was, while he was big on being a show-offish guitarist, he came in there and brought new blood. And when it was time for the makeup to come off, Vinnie was the guy. I mean, he had his own design in the makeup, which helped, obviously bring them into obviously being looked at as a newer band, some fresh blood in there. Not the same old, hey, we got new blood. Vinny's a faster player. He's more of a shredder. He's got a different image, blah, blah, blah. When it was time for the makeup to be off, he was the right guy there at the right time. He wrote Lick It Up. That was their big hit when the makeup came off, and they needed a big hit when the makeup came off to show, hey, we're still, relevant, and, that brings up another point. Would they, reach out to Bruce Kulick to join in for a couple of shows? Bruce, ever the gentleman, has always been very, very willing to join in on Kiss events, so that would be great too, considering, Bruce was a long time member of the band, and arguably their best guitarist, technically their best,
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just interesting that it's out in the universe now that, at least they're talking, and once conversations start and money gets offered, things happen. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But more often than not, things happen. Deals get made, things happen. So that's Paul Stanley and Kiss news. I thought that was very interesting. Let's see what else we got going on. Twisted Sister, very big in the news this week. A lot going on with Twisted Sister. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start with Dee Snider basically putting it out there very publicly. He is a very big supporter of masks and vaccinations, and the people recently that used on Twitter his "We're Not Gonna Take It" song to sneak into Home Depot without masks. It was these two Yenta girls that basically unfortunately from where Dee and I are both from Long Island, and they made a little video and put it on Twitter showing them sneaking into Home Depot without masks and putting out anti-vaccination flyers, which is literally against what Dee promotes. So in the background of their video, they put Dee's song, "We're Not Gonna Take It." And they snuck around the store like, "Oh, nobody sees us. We're not wearing masks. We're trying to hide and stay in the store as long as possible before they throw them out. We made these anti-vaccination flyers and we're putting them all over the store, and we're gonna, because we're not gonna take it." And Dee basically, put it out in the Twitterverse. Look, don't you dare use my music to promote exactly the opposite of what I'm promoting. So he's like been slamming them all over the media this week. And I don't know if they'll be cease and desist and take the video down or whatever, but it's on Twitter now if you want to watch it. These two Yentas, he's like they need a hobby. They're taking my music, they're making these videos, and Dee is one of those people that hates when his music is used for the wrong reasons. And one of the biggest things, was during the election year, the last election, a bunch of politicians used it. The same song, "We're Not Gonna Take It," and they all used it, including the former president. And he just kept issuing cease and desist, cease and desist, cease and desist. I don't want my music used in politics, especially for people I stand against. And it stopped for a while. But recently, someone decided to use his music, and I think this was someone in Australia. A politician decided to use "We're Not Gonna Take It," and he's pulling his hair out, and he basically went nuts to have it taken down and cease and desist. And he went to court with him, and he won. I don't know what the monetary award is, but it was very funny watching them try to fight this, because the politician just didn't do what other politicians said and said, "Okay, all right, we'll pull the song off our promotional video." This politician was like, "Well, technically, we changed the lyrics of your song. So while the chorus still said 'We're not going to take it,' we changed the lyrics to something like, well, we have the right to choose our people. We're not going to lose our election. This is our right. This is the song," rather than "our song." He changed the lyrics slightly. Yeah, it sounds familiar. Changed the lyrics slightly and still said the chorus, "We're not going to take it." So the judge is just kind of looking like, really? Are you really, sir? Do you really want your attorney to enter that as your defense, or you just want to end this? And Dee just ripped them apart. And I'm trying to remember. Mr. Hellstrom 74 says it was $2 million in the lawsuit. I thought it was around that neighborhood, so we'll go with it as a range. But yeah, I mean, they basically sued the guy, won, and just crippled him. And what's his name? Clive Palmer. False flag. Thank you. Yeah, because false flag is over there. Thank you. False flag. Did you see that ad when he published it? Did you see that commercial? Because apparently it got around a lot in Australia. For those that don't know, false flag is over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. Chris Sawa, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it anytime, rather than we're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. Yeah, so D. Snyder just ripped them apart and was very public about how bad he creamed them and hated the guy. So let's see. False flag's seen it. So apparently it's as published as they're talking about. So nice to see, and congratulations if anyone in the Twisted Sister camp is watching. Congratulations. Look, a lot of artists get their music misused and they have to go chasing lawsuits. Twisted Sister is one that constantly has to go to court for this shit. I mean, look, they wrote a rebellious anthem and it's gone from everything to like, frozen peas to, I want fresh vegetables, frozen peas. We're not gonna eat it. No, we ain't gonna eat it. And it's all sorts of stuff I've seen.
I like
that's
peas.
gone used for. Yeah, well, I like being peed on, but that's a whole nother episode. For those coming in late, watch earlier the Star Wars sex toys we talked about. Anyway, so Twisted Sister's always been chasing after lawsuits because everyone keeps using their music, especially that song, constantly for ads, for political ads, for products, for low-end commercials, you name it. They use the melody, they use the lyrics, they use the song. So I'm really glad to see Twisted Sister, got ahead of that lawsuit. So that's that one. But then, speaking of Twisted Sister, for those that don't know, Twisted Sister, or more accurately, D. Snyder, has had a long standing feud with the band Crocus. And what this stems from, if you're not familiar with the band Crocus, they were also an 80s band. They were Midnight Maniac from the album The Blitz, from the album Headhunter. Screaming in the Night was their biggest hit, I would say. Screaming in the Night. But they came out around the same time as Twisted Sister in the early 80s. And basically what had happened back in 1982, Dee Snider's wife was a costumer. She was, into tailoring and making costumes and stage clothes and stuff. And Crocus approached her and said, oh, your husband's in a band, we're in a band, we might as well, give you the work. We'd like to order some stage costumes. So she basically said, okay, what do you want? We'll make something really flashy and really this and really this. And so she took, some idea of stuff and she made them costumes. She made the band Crocus costumes. She brought Crocus these costumes and Crocus said, this work is shit. Fuck that. We're not paying for that. This is garbage. She sent them to them. And Crocus's manager basically says, well, we're not going to use them. We're going to throw it in a fire actually to keep warm. It's that bad. And they burned the costumes. They basically said, we're not going to pay you. We're not going to pay you. So, yeah.
And they used their song too.
Yeah, I know. Right. So they basically said that, or Crocus's management said, look, we gave your wife a chance.
We're not going to wear it.
Your wife, yeah. Your wife made us shitty costumes. We're not gonna pay her. I know there's so many jokes with that, Yeah, we're not gonna pay her, and we've burned the costumes. We hate them that much that we threw them in a bonfire. We burned them, and we're not paying you. So Dee Snider said, "What the fuck? My wife, took the time, made these costumes. You owe her the money." And at first Dee liked them because they were banned from Sweden, which is where his wife's from. And, he basically thought, we tour together, we've seen, we've been in venues together, and now these scumbags fucked my wife over. So now that started this feud in 1982 that has lasted up till right now. And through the years, this has been talked about by both sides. Basically the lead singer of Crocus, Mark Storis, has constantly told this story from the side of her costumes were shit. She didn't deserve to get paid, and we burned the costumes. We're allowed to, we gave her a chance at work. She sent us garbage. So why would we take it? We didn't want the costumes. We didn't take it. We burned them. And that was it. What was she going to do with them? They were tailored to us. So we burned them. We didn't use them. She didn't deserve to get paid. Dee says, well, you kept the merchandise, whether you burned them or not. You screwed us. You screwed my wife, and that's not okay. So through the years, they basically badmouthed each other. And thank you, Bang Energy Drink. They basically badmouthed each other. And anytime through the years that they've crossed paths on tours, at festivals, which you have to remember happens a lot because both those bands get around. Crocus is international. Twisted Sister is obviously extremely popular through the 80s and into the 90s. And, any time that a festival happened, fact is, Twisted Sister was the bigger act. So when Dee Snider saw them at a festival the first time, he said, wait, Crocus is on the bill? Oh, no. Crocus is not playing, or Twisted Sister is not playing. Now, remember, on some of these bills, Twisted Sister was either the headliner or one of the top two headliners. Mm-hmm. And Crocus is, a few notches down the ladder. And promoters, they got to make the tough call. So the first time, the promoter said to Mark, hey, listen, we got a problem. Apparently, Dee Snider has a beef with you, and you're not allowed on the tour. Twisted Sister's the headliner, and they're not going on stage if you're going on stage. So I hate to do this, but I got to remove you from the bill. Crocus gets thrown out. A few years later, same thing happens.
Oh, no!
Darth Vader came all this way to see Crocus. No! Screaming at the show, we weren't gonna go. We didn't pay his wife. Yeah, so go forward to years later, another international festival.
40 years later.
No, a few years more. There's Twisted Sister again, much higher up on the rung than Crocus. And again, Dee says, nope. I have nothing to lose. Twisted Sister has enough money. I have nothing to lose. And you know who's the most dangerous guy in the room? The guy who has nothing to lose. Crocus is desperate for this gig, but there are 3 acts before us. And if they go on, Twisted Sister walks. So there's another promoter. Hey, Mark, listen, I hate to say this, but we've got to pull Crocus from the lineup. What? Sure enough, the same thing. Then in 2012, Dee comes up with his memoirs, his biography, all about the music industry. And there's a whole chapter on guess who? Crocus. The whole story of Crocus. And it was funny, like, reading that. And I did read that book, and it's great. Just reading that whole chapter, because Dee calls them Krampus. And make no mistake, on a personal level, I like Crocus. I like them as a band. Screaming in the Night was a huge song for me growing up. Love that song. I like the band. But I see Dee's point, really. I got to side with him on that. The fact is, they stiffed his wife. That doesn't sit well with anyone. No one is gonna approve of that deal. And long-standing grudge, blah, blah, blah. And a few times that Crocus got asked to leave these festivals, after they got asked to leave, of course, word came to the manager, hey, listen, is there any way Dee would accept an apology with a few beers? And at first the answer was, no. And then it got to, well, it depends how sincere they are. And I got to ask my wife, because that's who they got to apologize to. And, the wife was like, no, because the fact is these apologies, these apologies didn't come random. These apologies came after they were asked to leave the tour. So it's not like out of the blue, Mark from Crocus, contacts Dee and says, hey, listen, I don't know what you're doing, but I'd love to take you and your wife out and pay her and apologize from, my band to your band. I'm really sincerely sorry. That's it. No, these apology offers came as a negotiating chip of, hey, listen, man, can we still stay on the tour if we apologize to Dee? So Dee and his wife weren't accepting these apologies. So years later, 2012, Dee rips Crocus an asshole, like a brand new asshole out of the side of their mouth in this autobiography. And a whole chapter on Crocus, and just rips them apart. And now Mark Storis recently was in an interview and says the following: well, I'm ready to put the Crocus Twisted Sister feud behind me now. So basically, at this point, Mark has said, as if it was a big announcement, the same deal that he's been trying to do since 1983, I guess. I'm ready for Dee Snider to forget about it. Dude, Dee and his wife aren't ready to forget about it. Every time you were thrown off a tour, you wanted to forget about it, but it got flung back in your face, because the fact is you didn't go over to Dee and his wife, and you didn't wind up apologizing. You didn't wind up paying them. I mean, this is a no-brainer. For fuck's sake, it's affected your band's career. How much could a couple of stage costumes cost? I mean, what are we talking? $1,000? I mean, don't you think it would be smart at this point, or years ago, to have fucking called up Dee and his wife and said, hey, maybe I'm actually sincerely sorry. I mean, what the fuck? Just pay the woman, for fuck's sake. Don't make these big public announcements. You're ready for the feud to be over. Dude, you've been ready since the first time you were thrown off a fucking tour. Of course you're ready. Of course you're fucking ready. Just do it. Pay the people. Apologize. Not that it matters now. We're in 2021. What are you going to do with Crocus now? I mean, for fuck's sakes, I mean, you're not really going to stick them on much of a tour. I mean, maybe here and there, little club tours, but there's no big bill tours that are clamoring for Crocus, as much as I like them as a band. I mean, look, Twisted Sister at least could tour if they want to, even though AJ Perro, rest in peace, passed away. I mean, there's still a big draw. They could still, if they wanted to, join something like, like the stadium tour if they wanted to, or something similar.
No, they're never playing a stadium.
If as part of a group tour, they could.
Not with Twisted Sister, they're not.
I'm saying if you had big bands, I would say Twisted Sister would be more of a draw than Joan Jett on a big tour like that. If I was the promoter of that tour, and I knew your headliners were Motley Crue and Def Leppard, your opener is Poison, and your early opener is an empty slot, who do I want out of these bands? And your choices are Joan Jett or Twisted Sister. Johnny, I'm going to choose Twisted Sister. It's way more appropriate for the crowds they're drawing, and nothing against Joan Jett. I mean, she totally rocks, but it's a different genre.
Mm.
Twisted Sister fits in that genre with some very, very big hits that you still hear today in commercials, in political commercials in Australia, in a lot of things.
In Home Depots.
Yeah, at Home Depot. You know, it's really funny. Yesterday, that's all. I've said my piece on that. Just if you're in Crocus, just apologize and pay the woman. Don't say you're ready for the feud to be over. Make the feud over. Do the right thing. Anyway, speaking of music over the radio, in stores. Yesterday, I'm in. What was it? I was in a Vons, a regular, supermarket, big supermarket out here in California. Vons.
I know Vons. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm realizing, I'm singing, "This must be just like living in," as I'm shopping. And then it hit me. I'm like, I'm listening to the David Lee Roth band on the speaker of the supermarket. What the fuck? The music I grew up with is Muzak now.
It was a Muzak version of that?
No, it was the actual version, but I was like, they used to play like that. No,
and you go to Whole Foods. You go to Whole Foods now, and it's like 80s, all 80s stuff, all 70s. They have specific channels that they play.
No, I was shocked. Yeah. I'm just like, this is something I would play in my car. This is, it's David Lee Roth and Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan and Greg Bissonette. I mean, to me, that was one of the dream team super bands. And to suddenly hear it, over the loudspeaker while I'm looking at applesauce, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I'm looking at cucumbers.
This is, yeah. Oh, John, this must be just like sitting on paradise. For Mother's Day, I wouldn't mind some fresh cukes. I couldn't believe that I was like listening to David Lee Roth, just casually shopping in the supermarket. It was just like surprising. Hey, Robot Master Switch, welcome. Let's see. Hold on.
Robot.
Stephen Franklin says, I hear frickin' Taylor Swift in the grocery store. Yeah, and Taylor Swift I expect to hear in the grocery store. I didn't expect to hear David Lee Roth, Steve Vai doing solos. I'm like,
Depends on the store. Depends on the store, and it depends on the day.
And no, Robot Master Switch, I did not do show and tell guitar yet. A little later on. What were you saying now?
But the music, it depends on the store you go to and like the day that you're there. Because like I said, I'll go to Whole Foods like on a Saturday, and it'll be like 80s, classic 80s, like new wave, like Duran Duran, Thompson Twins, all this type of stuff in a row. Like that's all they do. And then go there on another day, and it's something else.
I guess it depends who's cool in management. I mean, look, if I'm manager of a Trader Joe's and I suddenly get to go up to the counter and they're like, "Yeah, just play what you want." I'm like, in my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains.
False flag. Thank you, man.
Thank you, false flag. False flag. Did you buy a bottle of anything in a glazed donut to go?
Mm-hmm. And here's a trick. If any of you are going to Whole Foods, and maybe other places too, but I know specifically Whole Foods. If you go in and you ask somebody, they'll let you sample anything there.
Where?
At Whole Foods.
Even during the pandemic, though?
Maybe not now. But before all this weirdness.
Yeah, I walk up to the girl stocking the shelf. I'd like to feel your breasts for a moment. Just for a moment. I'm not going to have intercourse with you. We're not going to make out, but maybe just a quick, what the fuck? Yes, that's fine. Thank you. I'll see you after work. Thank you.
No. But no, seriously, they would let you sample like any item in that place.
Under normal circumstances, yeah.
Yeah, normally.
Sample the goods, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, not just Whole Foods. There was another place
Michael Jackson walks in. Excuse me, where's the children's department? Children's where? Looking for a sample. Yeah, I'd be playing Kiss Alive over the PA system. Jeez. Robot Master Switch, just the tip. Just a sample. Just the tip. No, but I was really surprised. I don't usually hear, I mean, what's now? Am I going to hear Metallica on the, on the PA system? Am I going to hear,
yeah. At Whole Foods, you hear all this stuff.
I've got to shop there more often.
I'm a little surprised about the Just Like Paradise, though. That's kind of a...
No, it was an odd song. I was just like, I realized I'm singing it as I'm walking along. And then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. What? It's playing on the PA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a supermarket, It's like, I'm in an elevator with an old lady and first floor, please. Okay. And, all of a sudden you just hear, shout at the devil. Some elevator music. Wow. Okay. Mr. Lights 1972 says some of that music is piped in from the corporate office. Hey, man, good company. I'm going to shop there more often now that I know the music's good. I mean, that's the closest I'm getting to live music these days.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of live music, let me point out that some places are planning openings, and that means live music, thankfully. And let's start with the Megadeth Metal Tour of the Year has set a tentative date, and I like the sound of this. They're smart enough to start it a little later on in the year, and I think they're starting it off. Let's see, Metal Tour of the Year, Megadeth with Lamb of God, Trivium, and In Flames. Good lineup, all good bands. Huge fan of Megadeth live. I've never seen Lamb of God live, but Megadeth, terrific live. Really, really good. And you have to realize Dave Mustaine is recovering from cancer. So he's all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed now. He's all piss and vinegar. He's raring to get out there. He's ready to just rip faces off and really kick ass on tour. So this is going to be a good tour. Starting August 20th in Austin, Texas, and continuing on October 2nd, ending in Quebec, Canada. So all around the country, and our neighbors to the north, like Amanda, have a great opportunity to check out Metal Tour of the Year with Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium, and In Flames. Sounds good. May 7th, tickets go on sale, livenation.com, if you want to check that out.
May 7th?
May 7th. That's 3 days from now, Johnny.
So when do tickets... The show is in 3 days. When do tickets go on?
No. The show starts. First show is August 20th.
20 minutes.
Yeah. The show is going on right now as we're on live. You're missing it. No. Megadeth is great live. Saw them during the Big Four tour. Saw them in New York backstage, right up close. Really fucking amazing. Let's see. Christopher Sawa brings up that Megadeth were selling tickets for the last 2 months for Megadeth, DTE, and Soaring Eagle Casino for 7/9 and 7/10. Both shows were pushed back till September. Look, man, the pandemic's a crazy thing. I mean, look, we're in California right now, Johnny and I, and this was at one point the epicenter of the pandemic with the worst ratings. We are now the least what's the word, Johnny? Contagious, or we have the least amount of cases.
I'm not contagious.
We have the least. Well, I'm vaccinated. I'm tomorrow's my last shot, so I'm good. But fact is, California right now is the safest state right now as far as the pandemic. We have the least case rate. That's what I was looking for. We have the least case rate in the country right now, and we were once the epicenter. So I don't blame bands for pushing back live shows. They're still gonna do the live shows, but we're all under circumstances out of our control. The more we flatten the curve, the more things are opening up, and it's happening. It's happening. So I don't blame the bands or the promoters for pushing the shows back. The shows will happen, but they've got to be done safely. And what do you do otherwise? You can't control things out of the band's control, and everyone's got to be safe.
Yeah, I saw that there's shows going on. Let's say like in Florida and other places. I don't see shows happening here for a while out here the way it's been.
I think
even what you just said, you can't go anywhere without a mask.
No, absolutely.
I haven't seen. You don't see people. It's now you see you see those girls in Home Depot now. It's like insane to see that.
Oh yeah, no, they're getting ripped apart online. But the fact is, even shows that are coming out live right now that are still under mask guidelines because it's large, close together crowds. You can go, as new guidelines came out, you can go outside. If you've been vaccinated, you can go outside and take off your mask if you're, spread apart outside. If you're in a close thing like a concert where you're literally packed together and you'll be moshing and, stuff like that. I don't know what the guidelines will be in August, but if it happened today, you would be allowed, if you were vaccinated, you would still be allowed out to a show with a mask. So
but you have to prove it though.
Yeah, you have to bring your card. I mean, that's easy enough. But the fact is, out here right now is not what's going to be out in August. So we don't know what August is going to bring. Whatever, and different states have different guidelines. Look, Texas, Florida, they're fully open. They're fully opening. They're disregarding even CGC recommendations, and
because it's so hot in Texas and Florida.
It's more political. There's a different political atmosphere in Texas than California. But without getting into it, the point is every state's going to have their own guidelines. So in August, every state's going to have different guidelines too, because you're talking a lot of
Is that true, David?
I don't know.
They had WrestleMania, 25,000 people together, and it was fine.
I have a hard time believing that.
Well, wrestling's fake, so it could have been people being together could have been fake.
Fake news. Anyway, the point is, no matter what state you're in, whether you have strict guidelines or loose guidelines, every state is going to have different laws in August. So I don't know what will wind up. I don't know what'll wind up. I don't know what'll wind up happening.
I don't know. I don't see things getting back to normal for a long time, if ever.
Well, there will be different degrees of new normal. That'll be the fact. But look, let's put it this way. I'm hopeful. Obviously there will probably be limited seating capacity like there are at various sports events, like there are, whatever. Disney right now is open, not at full capacity. They're open at a partial capacity with,
I saw that they're back. Yeah.
Strict mask laws and, and whatnot. So, there's, everyone's going to have different guidelines, but at the same time, I'm hopeful that by August, I would love to see, successful tour like that, even with masks, even with limited capacity, just getting shit somewhat back to normal. And like, a couple people in the chat have said, Megadeth are awesome live. They're really, really good. Some bands, some bands sound like shit taking place live, and we could go through various bands for various reasons.
Some Crocus?
Yeah, well, I like Crocus, but I'm not. I'm just saying, D. Snyder fight aside, I like Crocus's music, but the fact is, when it comes to live bands, you have someone like Kiss that, look, Paul's 69. He's done this for 40 years or 50 years. He needs a little vocal assist. So there's background vocals and recorded tapes and whatever helping him along. Some bands on the flip side just suck. When they're live, they're great in the studio, but they suck live. Has anyone in the chat ever been to a concert? Full question for the chat. I want to hear everybody. Have you ever been to a concert with a band that sounded amazing live? I'm sorry, amazing on the album. And then you get and you see them live and they're the ultimate disappointment because for the life of them, they're just a studio band. They can't for the life of them play live.
Well, like the album depends how many overdubs, how many special
Absolutely.
effects, how many sound special effects do you hear on those songs?
Absolutely. But Megadeth is not one of those bands. Megadeth is absolutely terrific live. And, again, they're really, really good. I'm curious in the chat, what bands have you seen that just sucked live that were great in the studio? You love the album, you went to see, you bought the ticket, and all of a sudden, what the fuck is this?
I mainly go to see bands live that I already like, that I know are good. So I know it's fun. It's going to be good, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
White Zombie was horrible.
Let's see. Going through Guar, Black Crows. See, here's the thing about Guar. Guar was never great musically. I mean, they're fine, as far as their albums go. But you don't go to see Guar honestly thinking this is going to be an experience in musical delight. Yeah. No. Guar's a fun band to see live. They are. But they're an entertainment band, meaning the stage show is a big part of what you're going there to see. So it's not just, Guar for their music and you're like, oh, yeah, this is great. I mean, they're fine live. They're okay. Sometimes they're bad. But it's the stage show. You're going for the big costumes and the theatrics of it. So Guar, I'm going to give a little pass to. Mike saw Guns N' Roses, said they were terrible. Listen, man, if you saw Guns N' Roses when you were a kid, you're lucky actually even showed up. If he stayed for 2 songs in the 80s, you were really lucky to see Guns N' Roses because it's like, take me down to the Paradise City. Fuck you! That guy has a camera. I'm leaving. Fuck you! And that's it. And that's if he shows up at all. So,
Steve Carmichael
is terrible live. Yes, I agree.
Milli Vanilli wasn't as good as the record. Sure they were. It was the record. It was the same.
Well, you're also going to see Milli Vanilli for the theatrics as well. The miming is perfect. Black Crows, George Thorogood, some punk bands, White Zombie live, Jackal, Europe, I'm surprised to hear. Because John Norum is a terrific guitar player. I'm surprised to hear they weren't good live. Maybe they had an off show. Laguna Palm says the Cars came off weak live. Never saw them. Johnny, did you see them live, the Cars? It seems like a band you would see. Soundgarden, Mr. Bizarro says. Charles Green says, first time I saw Skid Row, it was barely close. That's surprising. Now, I saw Skid Row live with Aerosmith in the late 80s, early 90s, and I'm very surprised to hear that because, I don't know, when I saw them, they were tight. They were really tight. And Sebastian Bach gets my vote for literally one of the best frontmen ever. I mean, he's got the chops, he's got the look, he's got the stage presence. I mean, they were really tight when I saw him. Maybe just an off night, but let's see. Fear Factory was a mess. I could see that. Soundgarden. Oh, Mike Murr says Guns N' Roses wasn't so terrible, but 2 times they showed up hours late. That was a standard thing of Guns N' Roses in the 80s. If you did see them, Axl had a thing constantly. And we're not talking like, 15 minutes late, the show starts a half hour late. We're not talking that. That's casual, getting technical stuff ready, reassessing a sound check, fixing something that's not working, finding a short in the wires. That's standard. That happens. We're talking 4 hours late. We're talking 4 hours late. We're talking, this was a common thing for Guns N' Roses to the point that it was just insane. And this was all Axl. This was all Axl's ego. He just didn't care. He thought the world was his, and to some extent it was. And then the world shut down.
Thank you, Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, then the world shut down. Cobain gave him a fist right in the sweet anal of mine, and that was it. Bruce Poinsett says Dokken 1987. Here's the thing about Dokken live. Dokken live, Lynch is phenomenal live. Don is hit or miss, or was hit or miss back then. Don's not a good live singer, really. He's very grandstanding. He's more of a studio singer for sure. The studio albums, phenomenal. Love early Dokken, big time. Don wasn't great live even back in the day, and now, I mean, just, I feel bad saying it, but Don's voice has just he's left the building. He's, just, is that,
mine's broken. There you go.
My sound machine had Bang energy drink, so just pour a little in there and it's raring to go. Yours is like a limp dick. Let's see. David Shea Gormley brings up that he saw Deep Purple in 2017. It didn't suck, but Ian Gillian, Gillian just came off as a foxy grandpa. Alice Cooper slayed them. Now, Alice Cooper is an incredible live artist. I don't know. I mean, he held his voice. He's a performer. He's a theatric performer. He's in the studio. I mean, again, not that Alice has this high range like Mark Slaughter or Mike Mativic of Steelheart or, any of these, Sebastian Bach, any of these high-end, vocalists, Jeff Tate, someone like that. But he just sounds the same, and he sounds like his records. And look, that's what I want in a live performance. I want someone that sounds like the freaking records.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Brian Spalding says Guar was so entertaining. You have to go to a Guar show. Hey, listen, man, certain shows are there for entertainment. You'll never get a better live theatrical show than Kiss, than Alice Cooper, Guar, Steel Panther. These are shows that combine, theatrical performances with music. And nobody does it better than Kiss. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just, you wanted the best, you got the best. As far as a stage show with, things to look at and join in, you bet. Kiss is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Sauer says Disturbed was terrible live. The Allman Brothers was another band awful live when I saw them. Mr. Hellstorm. You'll never be disappointed at a Crosby, Stills, and Nash show. I sing right out of my anus. That's the way I fart melodically. All other bands. You know who I hated? I hated Van Halen live. They were terrible. Come here.
Oh my goodness.
Screw you, David Crosby. Let's see. Allman Brothers, another awful band. False Flag is shocking me. Warrant, he says, wasn't great. I have to disagree. I've seen Warrant literally about 20 times over various years, and I have to totally disagree. Warrant was one of the better live bands that I've ever seen. They were very, very, especially with Janie Lane, rest in peace, when he was with them. Warrant was terrific live, like big time. They sounded really good, like the record. Janie was an amazing frontman. They were very tight with their playing and with they were good, man. I have to totally disagree. Maybe saw them on a bad night, but Jay Hannon, the great Jay Hannon of the band Gizmachi, chiming in, says, I got the opposite for you. We did a few tours with Mushroom Head back in 2005, 2006, and they're much better live than on their records. Sounds like Mushroom Head needs a good producer. Do you know of any, Mr. Hannon? That's funny to hear. But I could see that. Look, here's the thing. If you don't have a good producer in the studio, your record is going to come out like shit. I mean, that's just a fact. Think about how many bands had, the same producers and came out with good product. And you find out, like in interviews, yeah, we were going to go this way, but our producer really pushed us this way and it came out 10 times better. I always hear that. A good
Def Leppard
producer. Great example.
That's probably one of the greatest examples in 80s.
Sure.
Rock, metal, whatever. Yeah.
Nelson Rodriguez has a similar experience to Jay. Styx is better live than on the album. Than an underrated band, 12 ticket at a country fair, and the same energy at a stadium show with REO Speedwagon. That's Styx I've heard is good live. I've never seen them, although I love the Mr. Roboto album. Let's see. Hobo Rody says, I just picked bands that drew a bunch of good-looking women. Well, then you saw a lot of Warrant, Poison, Bon Jovi. I always say this on the show. If you wanted to get laid in the 80s and you went to see Winger, you got laid. If you went to see Warrant or Poison or any of the pretty boy glam bands, you could easily get laid at those shows. If you saw Anthrax, as good as the show was, you were in a pickle party. Great music, but you're in a mosh pit with the sweaty guys. That's it. You're not getting laid at the Anthrax show. Go see Rush. It's not going to be girls there. And it's true. Let's see. David Shea Gomery brings up Bon Jovi in 2002 had a bad night. It looked like Richie and John were fighting all night. I can name a couple of famous bands that had nights like that. Kiss, Paul wanted to punch out Vinnie Vincent one night, so they were blasting through songs and cutting sets short. There are a bunch of bands like that that've had fights like that. Sandra Picorni saw Styx and said they were great. I would love to see Styx live. Vistalite 1972 saw Skid Row live with Bon Jovi in 89. They were spot on. That's what I said. When I saw Skid Row, Sebastian Bach had command of the audience, and he did this trick with the microphone. I mean, I don't know how nobody got hit with this. He basically took the mic with the wire and swung it out over his head like this, literally about maybe, I want to say, 15 feet away from him over the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you got to take into account your bandmates over here, your, drummer back there, any, speakers or anything, and your audience.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow he mastered it to the point that when he stopped swinging it, he yanked it back and caught it. And that had to take a fuckload of practice, like using a bullwhip fuckload of practice. Like, that's a feat. Because I was standing there, I was like, holy shit, he's got cocked someone in the fucking head. This guy's throwing bottles. Now he's doing this with the mic. Let's see. False Flag says Cinderella was awesome live. I agree. I've seen Cinderella and Tom Kiefer's own band a number of times. Tom Kiefer. Oh, Cecil Music saw Tom Kiefer a month before COVID hit. So did I. I saw him out here in Cali. Very cool. Yeah, He was terrific. He signed the Pats Dogs guitar. That's when I had him signing a guitar at that show. Senator Picorni's seen Slayer and Testament, both great live. I've seen them both live. Poison back in the day. Yeah, Poison live honestly, I've seen Poison probably more than any other band I've ever seen. Every show was phenomenal live back in the day. Every show. They are a tight live band. They always have been. You know, Brett's a great frontman. He connects with the audience tremendously. Always has. CC's great live. Let's see. Nelson Rodriguez agrees with Deep Purple live, said they were terrible. Kiss, Alice Cooper, Maiden. Maiden's another one with great stage shows. I agree. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Christopher Sauer brings up. Yeah, absolutely. Giant Eddie lumbering behind the band. Hey, this is cool shit. You know? Let's see. Robot Master Switch says System of a Down. That's too bad. Christopher Sauer agrees with Jay on Mushroom Head. Says it's the loudest band he's ever seen live. Put it in your thinking caps, kids. If you ever see Mushroom Head come on a tour, that's one. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. But you should always wear your earplugs, no matter what show.
It depends where you sit. I mean, I don't usually, but my brain's already melted, so I've What'd you say, Johnny? Sandra Picorni, she saw Anthrax 2 times. You must have been super popular at that show because you were probably the only girl at an Anthrax show, and they're just like, "Hey, hot chick, hot chick, hot chick, hot chick, hot chick, hot chick, hot chick," spreading through it's almost like the waves spreading through the audience. Hey, hot chick, aisle 14, hot chick, aisle 14, hot chick, pass it on. They're out in the bleachers and with binoculars. Hot chick, aisle 14. Let's see. Christopher Sauer says, if you're over 50 and you can't get laid, take any chick to a Kid Rock concert, guaranteed pussy. If you're bringing a chick to a concert, you're already there. You've got her. You're gonna get laid. If you bring your own chick, I'm talking meeting a girl at a concert. I'm talking you go with your buddies and you're all wingman each other. You go to a Poison show. There's pretty chicks everywhere, So yeah, if you bring your own chick, you're gonna get laid anyway. You could bring them to a fucking taco stand. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's see. Jay brings up an interesting point. Sebastian Bach hit a female record executive in the tit with a microphone before they got signed when they came to see Skid Row. At least he said that happened. Yeah, Sebastian Bach, obviously that was an accident, or I hope it was an accident. But obviously he has that deal with, that happened with the bottle and this incident, which I think I actually read something about a while back. You got to be careful around Sebastian. He's a disaster waiting to happen. I love the guy dearly, but he's, Mike Johnson brings up Tom Kiefer again. So underrated as a guitarist. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the thing, Tom Kiefer is old school. He's a guy that he goes for old Gibsons and, he's not really a shredder. He's like an old school player. He wants an old Les Paul. He wants an old Firebird. He likes that kind of heavy old school guitar and playing the music around it. Cecil Music brings up CC DeVille. He gets a lot of flack for but I love what he did on those records. I've said this before, and I've talked about this with CC. Constantly, the guy gets flack because he showed up on that record as the image of glam. He had the girl hair, he had the girl makeup, girl clothes. That was the beginning of glam around then, really. Hardcore hairband glam. And Poison was right at the spearhead of it. And, they took a lot of flack for it. But the fact is, he ran to the bank making melodic songs and cashing big checks from these hits. And he got laid every night that you guys didn't or might not have. And he's got more money than you and me, or at least me. or you and me both. And, the fact is the guy can play. He can absolutely play, but he plays what sells. He plays what fits his band. And that's the sign of a good player. And I, for one, love his work. I think he gets the raw deal of raw deals. I've always said it. He's literally one of my personal favorite players. Amanda Coombs, don't love Bon Jovi, but they were great live in the 90s. Everyone loves Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi is one of the nicest guys in the world. Of course you love it. We all do. We all love him. God bless John Bon Jovi. And yeah, they are, from what I hear, they were always very good live. David Shea Gomery, same thing with Bon Jovi, 2001, amazing live. Check GS, panties are dropping all over at Poison shows. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Tesla, absolutely. Tesla, phenomenal live band. Really, really good. I've seen them a lot of times. And there's another underrated band. You want to talk underrated bands? Tesla is just one of those that, just overall is just phenomenally underrated. I mean, they're a tight band. They're great writers. Every album is consistently good. And they hold to their own sound. They don't change their sound. You get a Tesla album, much like AC/DC, what's in that package. You know what the sound is like. They're not trying something new and different and, whatever. They're just playing good, solid Tesla music. And live, absolutely phenomenal. Vistalite 1972, absolutely. Panties dropping all over the place at Poison, Warrant, Bon Jovi. That's the deal, man. Girls went to those shows. So Amanda Coombs says chicks that went to Poison shows would probably give it up before they even got through the gate. Sometimes, yes. Pays to show up early at those shows. Let's see. Just looking through the chat. Robot Master Switch, Lemmy and Motorhead, absolutely great live. And yeah, they were showmen. There was another band that really had the audience in the palm of their hand. Lemmy had, rest his soul, Lemmy was so good at connecting with the audience because he was just one of those, I don't give a fuck, and you guys shouldn't give a fuck either. Let's not give a fuck together. Here I go into Ace of Spades. He was just that, kind of like Ron Jeremy, as a porn star, the Hedgehog. He's that porn star that could be you when you get fat and old and bald. He could be you. That guy's getting the hottest pieces of tail in the world. Lemmy is the same thing. Here's this big guy with warts on his face and gruff and, and not a pretty boy, but he could be you because this guy's coming on stage to kick your fucking ass. And he's doing it, and he's doing it well. That's the thing about Motorhead. Motorhead would come on and, what are you doing? Let's fuck it all up. And, then he'd just kick everyone's ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of the real rock stars.
Yeah, really was. And
he is and he isn't. He's like a normal, he looks like a normal dude, but
well, right now he's passed away, so he was.
But rock stars though, they could be they could look like anything,
It depends. I mean, the thing is, after video became a part of culture, a lot of bands, have to have a certain image. And when I say a certain image, it doesn't have to be the same image, but that, a lot of them, hold to, if you're picking between two guitarists and one guy's a really good looking guy, yeah, you may have a little edge as the good looking guy over the average looking guy or the ugly guy. I mean, I know a lot of ugly guitar players, and fact is, the pretty boy got the gig and they didn't. And that doesn't always go by rule of thumb. Look, there's ugly guitar players out there too, of course. I'm just saying, Kip Winger is looking for someone to replace Reb Beach. He's not going to go with the fat, bald, old guy. You know, he's not going to go with that guy. That's the fact. You know, but someone has a cool vibe. They could have a different project and work very well with them. You know what I'm saying? Just lessens your chances. And yeah, check GS. They don't make them like Lemmy anymore. Rest in peace. Absolutely, man. If you're near the Rainbow, stop by and take a photo with his statue that very deservedly belongs to be there. So let's see what else we got. Let's give a speaking of rest in peace for you fans of Talus. Phil Naro, the frontman of Talus, passed away the other day at the age of 63 from tongue cancer.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw Billy Sheehan posting about it.
Really sad news. And what's really sad is he's been battling cancer for I think about 6 years. And it's really sad. You know, I mean, Talus is one of those great old school bands that a bunch of people came out of. Obviously, Billy Sheehan was the bass player originally, replaced by Bruno Ravel of Danger Danger. You know, I mean, you know, Talus was one of those cool old school 80s bands that always brought it. And look, he was a great vocalist. You know, Billy Sheehan and him recently got back together to make a new Talus album. And luckily they finished it before he passed away. So sometime toward late 2021, there will be a new and final Talus album out that obviously Billy will promote, but it'll be in Phil Naro's honor. So if anyone's from the Talus camp listening, rest in peace. Alice Martinez asks, where's Paulie tonight? We're not sure. We don't know. I hope he's okay. And obviously we miss him, but he didn't check in today. So,
I saw him posting this morning.
Early this morning, I
posted
saw him.
something on Facebook. And then he was in the Van Halen group. Was it last night or this morning? Because people have just been going nuts in there. It was this morning. He was in the Van Halen group this morning. I saw.
It's your fault, Johnny. It's all your fault. This is your fault. Paul's had enough of your shit shenanigans and light switching. That's it. Your fault. No, I don't know. I don't know where Paulie is today, but you know, hopefully he's okay, and we'll check in with him later. Or I'll check in with him later. Make sure
he might be in jail.
Make sure
he might be sleeping.
What do you guys in the chat? What do you think happened to Paul today? Let's come up with some possible things that happened to Paul today. Black Salami says maybe got arrested. Mike Neese says maybe he's still sleeping and overslept. Let's see.
Somebody called the bass player from what was it? What was that band? You just talked about them.
Motorhead?
Tesla.
Oh,
somebody called the bass
Tesla. Tesla. Brian.
Somebody called Brian Wheat and tell him to call Paul.
Call Paul. Yeah, if anyone's from Tesla listening tonight, if Brian Wheat is watching, please give Neander Paul a call and tell him he overslept. Or Randy Watson comes up with, let's see, that boy ball deep in some strange poontang. Thank you, Randy. That's a possibility. And look, I hope that's true. I hope Paul is getting laid. That would be great. David Shea Gormley says maybe he's having a Star Wars marathon. It is May the 4th. It is Star Wars Day. I think that's a worthy cause. I think that's better than coming on here tonight. I don't blame him.
Maybe
I'd rather be watching Empire.
Phantom Menace.
maybe Watto is selling him out. Oh, Neanderthal. Where's Neanderthal on Star Wars Day? Huh? Where's the graphic, Johnny? You had one job.
I deleted it a long time ago.
No, you didn't. We used that graphic.
Yeah. No, I deleted it because I can only fit so many graphics in a
That's
brand.
one we use. Wait a minute. All this money, you can't have more than 5 graphics?
Well, no, I can. I have to switch. I have to switch over.
What you got to get is a hard drive with graphics.
Yeah.
Just put it on your phone.
No, within the StreamYard.
Well, you gotta have a Watto. How are we going to do Star Wars jokes without Watto? My fellow space Jew. How are we going to have that? Bruce Poinsett says maybe it's bike night at Hooters. Hey, that's not a bad idea. The Paulie rides a Harley. He's a good-looking guy. Go into Hooters, Harley rider, good-looking guy, long head of hair. I think you're going to get some phone numbers. Absolutely. So, Neanderthal, free chicken wings, and my phone number. There you go. Let's see. Amanda says he was at work today. They were live. Yeah, I expect. Listen, Paulie's always going to show up for real work. I mean, this is labor of love work. Paulie's going to show up for real work because he gets a paycheck. He gets a fat paycheck at real work. Of course, listen, I'll show up at Paul's work for that paycheck. Of course. And I show up to mop the floors. So
I hope he's okay because, yeah, literally, we haven't heard from him at all.
No, we haven't had him check in. But I'm sure
weird.
Usually, at least he'll check in if he's got something because Paul has a real life. I mean, Paul, Paul will check in with us and say, "Hey, I'm running a half hour late, or I'm running an hour late, or I got a meeting tonight with executives, or he's got a life." So I'm a little concerned, but I'm sure he's okay. I'll check in with him later.
He probably is sleeping.
That's possible.
Actually,
I'm sure he had a busy day today
because he does have to get up at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, because those are the glory hole hours are from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. at the truck stop, and they also pay very, very well. So that's another job I do in the spare time.
And it is Star Wars Day.
It is Star Wars Day, so I put on a Vader mask and drill a hole.
Your penis is large. Oh, give me that cock. The force is strong in my pants. Turn to the dark side. We swallow.
Yeah.
Turn to the dark side. Does that mean turn around?
That'd be really funny if Paul was laying with 2 biker girls and a used condom on her forehead and a load of jizz on her tits, and he's just sleeping like this with a bottle of Jack under his arm, and then what a Johnny Beane show. Oh fuck, I gotta get on there.
Somebody clip that.
Yeah.
That actually is a new feature where you can actually clip parts of these shows and upload them to your own channels. So if you're watching this on mobile right now, maybe there is a create section.
Jay Hannon says Johnny should call him right now live from the show. Johnny's like, you call him, man, Kuda.
Yeah, no, I had to turn my camera.
You call him, man, Kuda. He'll kick my ass. You call him.
Lenny Lou, yeah, the clip feature doesn't work anymore. I got to turn my camera off. Yeah, it I might have to redo that.
By the way, if you're enjoying the show, or even if you're not, take a second right now and hit the like button, leave a thumbs up, please. Let's hit 100 likes before we end tonight, which we're not ending just yet, but just FYI, we're going to end fairly soon. We'll see. Amanda Coombs, good point. Hope the animals are okay. Absolutely. We always hope Paul's animals are okay. And speaking of being okay, thank you again very much to everyone who's sending thoughts and prayers for my mom's health and my own health issues. Thank you very much. I know we're doing it privately, but it's greatly, greatly appreciated. Especially for my mother, the health issues she's going through. It's been very rough. So thank you, everybody. Let's see. What else we got on the agenda on this May 4th Star Wars Day? Speaking of, we were talking earlier about selling your catalog of publishing rights for bands. Johnny, the Red Hot Chili Peppers just sold theirs. Guess how much? If you know in the chat, don't say it.
Well,
how much is the Red Hot Chili Peppers publishing rights for their musical catalog worth?
I would say 12 million.
I said specifically, don't say it. If you know the answer, don't say it. And Jay in the chat, 140 million, 140 million. It's like The Price is Right when Bob Barker's like, okay, let's have your answers. Sue, $800. Michael, $400. Sally, $1. Jim, don't answer. The answer's $440 million. It's $140 million. There you go. And yes, Jay is correct because he obviously read the story. $140 million for the Red Hot Chili Peppers catalog. Am I crazy?
Yes.
But well, yeah, that's a given. But am I crazy in thinking that's a lot of money for the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
For them?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they really
sounds
didn't
like
have
a
that.
lot.
They really didn't have that many hits.
Right?
Like hit songs. Like he had the one with him running without the shirt. You know, that was like their biggest song. That or Give It Away Now. You know, that was another one.
Someone gave it away. Now someone gave away $140 fucking million.
But they really didn't have that many like
not like I mean
hits.
Let's put this in perspective. The Beatles catalog was for sale for $750 million. Going by that math, am I missing something in that? Thinking that's just a lot of money for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like a big overpayment. It reminds me of like that deal where, years ago, I think Verizon bought AOL and Yahoo for $4 billion a piece. And now a few years later, they're selling both of them together for, I think, like 5 million or 4 point something million. Just a massive loss, $4 billion loss.
They're both useless.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I'm speaking as someone who has AOL. I never changed to a different email. I saw no reason to change to a different email. But what the fuck do I know? My phone was a BlackBerry up till this week.
Do you still have to log into AOL when you check your email?
It isn't the same box. It isn't the same thing where you turned on AOL in the 90s and you were like, oh yeah,
that was dial-up.
Yeah, it isn't that. But it's like, I guess, any other email where you just, you punch in your email address and your password and suddenly you have email, I mean, I guess that's pretty standard, but like, I never saw the need to like change emails. It doesn't do me any good or bad to have the same email. Like what's the purpose? So that less people can contact me? I mean,
Well, with AOL, you used to be like trapped within their system.
What do you mean?
Their browser, they had their own browser that you would go into. But this was 20 years ago. This is a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
so I know it's different now, but
totally.
AOL though, that is kind of weird. Like if somebody tells me their email address and it's AOL,
you've got mail.
That is kind of.
It doesn't do that anymore. Doesn't do that anymore.
It's like, man, you've had that. You must have had that for a long time.
Yeah, I mean that's my original email address is on AOL, and I think the only two people that have AOL still are like myself and the owner of AOL. I think that's it. I think it's just two of us.
Mm-hmm. Nah, he sold it.
Yeah, I know. It's just me. It's just even they're selling it. Oh, only Mancuda is still on the service, so we got to sell it for a loss. No, because think about it. It's like anytime I run into someone else who has an AOL account, I'm like, "Oh, your mail's AOL. You have AOL? Oh my god!" It's like that Twilight Zone episode where like you're the last man on Earth and you're calling everyone in the phone book, hoping that there's another person and hoping someone in humanity survived, and then you jump out the window because you just want to commit suicide and you're falling, and as you're falling toward the ground, you hear a phone ring upstairs as you're passing a window. It's like. Yeah.
So. I never saw that episode. Was that an actual one?
That was an actual episode. there's a guy on Earth. He's like the last. He thinks he's the last man on Earth, which they did a couple of different ways. You notice?
Yeah, because I've seen every episode.
Yeah, there's a
one...
Burgess Meredith one where he's trapped in a museum. But there was one episode. It was either Twilight Zone, maybe it was Outer Limits. It was one of those two. Someone literally is the last man on Earth, and he's trying to find anyone else survived in humanity. And he's calling everyone in the phone book, just every number, just over and over and over. Finally, he just gives up. He's done. He's going through every number. He's convinced he's the last person on Earth. He goes to jump off of the rooftop. He jumps, and on the way down, he hears the phone ring out of one of the open windows. So, love it.
I'll have to look for that. Yeah, that John Biel. What was that? I've never heard of that one, but anyway. Lenny Lou, what was it? Was that Twilight Zone? Lenny Lou knows about it. Outer Limits, Hobo Roadie says.
Hobo Roadie says Outer Limits. Okay. Yeah, it was a great episode. It's a great episode. Speaking of great episodes, let's get into today's...
Leave a thumbs up.
Yes, leave a thumbs up, and let's get into today's show and tell guitar.
Good.
Let's check out today's show and tell guitar.
I got to run outside.
All right. Well, you do that. Johnny, spotlight me at least. There we go. Okay. Today's show and tell guitar, I gave you the hint that it was something Darth Vader would have loved. Now, here's the thing. I didn't remember last week that the May the 4th came on a Tuesday this year. So I would have shown that guitar, that outer space theme guitar. I wish I would have, but I'm thinking, okay. Oh, John, so disappointed in you. Thanks, Mom. And those Star Wars dildos are not funny. Thanks, Mom. I'm still wanting one for Mother's Day, though. Thanks, Mom. But anyway, so I figured, what would Darth Vader play if Darth Vader could play a guitar? What would he? The E string is off. No. What would Darth Vader play if he could play a guitar? And I came up with this one. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Lord of the Sith presents. Look at that thing. This is a blacker than black Ibanez RG760. This is something that Vader would play because obviously RG760, I said. Something that Vader would play because obviously yeah. I'll just watch the show from here. RG760, I said. I said an RG760. Something that Vader would play because obviously yeah. I'll just watch the show from here. RG760, I said. 760. Okay. So let's get to this bad boy. All right, let's get to this bad boy. Blacker than black. RG760 was one of those top of the line RGs made around the same time that the Gems were. And this thing is super nice. I knew this would be like right up Jay's alley because this is a great Ibanez. This bad boy has a wizard neck, which if you guys aren't familiar with the Ibanez wizard necks, look how thin and flat that puppy is. Really, really a thin, flat, wide standing neck with the shark tooth inlaid. Neck, right? Yes, ma'am. Thin and flat, like my ex-girlfriend. No, with a wide neck. Yeah, so basically, blacker than black, RG760. This was pretty much like around one of the top of the line RGs. Obviously, the 550 is a tremendous guitar. This was a little bit of an improvement, I think. Very similar in a lot of ways to a Gem as far as this goes. I mean, you have, the traditional Ibanez headstock in this case in matching black, dark rosewood fretboard with those Ibanez shark tooth inlays. Getting up into it. These are Ibanez branded pickups, Ibanez USA branded pickups, which I believe were made by DiMarzio. I believe, if I'm correct in that memory. And you got the Ibanez Edge Trem. Take a look at that puppy, which is one of the better Floyd licensed trems. The edge is so comfortable, really smooth to use. The main pickup, I believe, is like a super distortion type right there in the bridge. And yeah, thank you, Master Switch. Those are DiMarzio's. Let's see. Answer the question, Jay says. What is the question? Hold on. Let me scroll back up. The yeah, the neck is bound. That's that one. Jay said he had that exact same guitar in 1992. Nice. Wait, wasn't this like the type of guitar that you sold to a friend for like $500 like years ago, like someone you used to work with? I remember you telling the story and you were like working on getting it back. Was that like your first guitar or something, or one you had early on? I thought I remember. Let's see. Whoops. Cecil Music likes RGs and gems better with pick guards. This one doesn't have a pick guard. I could take it or leave it either way as far as the pick guards go. Let's see. Serial number. Let's go with let's see if I could read this in the light here. F112530. So what does that make it? A 91, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, typical of these type of guitars, you have this lovely little cutaway axis right here, which is one of the things I like about the Gunslingers. You know, you have like a little angled cutaway. I love that on this one. Light body, comfy shape. I always thought Ibanez made one of the better shaped bodies as far as the horn access. You know, just a good looking horn design and upper fret access. I always thought that was very cool. Volume tone, 5-way selector switch. It is a regular Ibanez Edge, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what fretboard radius. I'm really terrible at that. I can't sell this to you because I actually sold it to someone else. That is another reason this is the show and tell guitar, because that is going bye-bye. If that deal falls through, I have no problem selling it to you though, Jay. FYI. So see what happens. Let's see. Jay says it's a 17-inch radius. Vi asked for the deep cutaways when he designed. Music Therapy Laz, yes, it is show and tell. Robot Master Switch, I sell guitars rarely, but when I have, they're very specific. So, you know, I got this particular one in 2010 when I was in Hawaii. And I bought it at a store in Hawaii because this is right when I was starting to get back into guitar. And at that time, I wound up going into a guitar store, playing this, falling in love with it, and a few others, and picking it up. And, you know, I started getting back into guitar in 2010. This was when I was on Lost, and, you know, we were shooting every 2 weeks an episode. And if there was a lot of downtime in Hawaii, which there was, you needed something to do. You know, you either surf or you explore the island. But, you know, once you live there, I was living there for a year. You have 2 weeks of free time between episodes. I mean, there's not a lot to do in Hawaii. So you either surf or you do other stuff. So I was looking for, you know, for the possibility of getting back into guitar. And I did. And, you know, this and a couple of other guitars when I left the island, which was Oahu, came home with me. And this is Oahu. That's another email service.
That's your email.
That's another email service. Oahu.
At Oahu.
Oahu.com. But this was one I picked up while filming Lost, and this was one of the guitars that really got me back into playing guitar. But somebody wanted it very badly, and it's not one, honestly, that I reach for as much as some others. So, the offer was right, and the timing was right. So, there you go. Yeah, Johnny, you're late with that question.
Oh, I just got back.
I know. You missed the whole conversation, but. Brian Spalding says, did I go to Hot Licks? What was Hot Licks? Was that name of a store? Because that might have been it.
That's where Brian is now, isn't it?
Is Hot Licks in Hawaii?
John Beale.
I'm asking Brian. He's right there.
Somebody wake up John Beale and Paul. I think they're snuggling somewhere.
They're actually, you know what? Was it? You know what? Hold on a second, because I'm gonna send Jay a private message for a second. Johnny, talk about something. Pretend you're part of the show tonight, John.
Happy, whatever today is.
Star Wars Day. It's Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars Day. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a thumbs up. If you're watching on Facebook, leave a like. Follow me on Facebook. Jay's trying to wake up Paul.
Jay's calling Paul.
Again, join the Van Halen group. 74 to 2020. It's growing like you wouldn't believe. And check me out on Amazon. Amazon Live. Brand new.
Brand spanking new.
And somebody wake up Paul. He's driving back from a friend's, Caleb says. So I guess he's driving. On Star Wars Day. James Stewart, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Okay. There we go. Thank you. I just needed a little stall to send a PM to Jay. Okay. So anyway, this lovely RG 760, terrific shredder. Very light. This is kicking in at about maybe 7 pounds. A good weight for a guitar. Let's. What do you say about the Wizard Necks? They're really, really great shredders. They're super thin, very, very comfy. If you want to go fast, this is the guy. Look how thin that is, and it's a bound neck. Very, very fast. Very, very flat. I think it's probably the flattest fretboard you can get.
Paul's fine, Caleb says. He doesn't have Messenger on his phone, so that's why he's not getting our messages.
Okay, cool beans. I'm glad Paulie's okay. And Jay, we'll talk off air about the other thing. But anyway, continuing on with this. So this is just a straight ahead shredder power machine. Ibanez makes such good freaking guitars. They're so light and they're so they're really, really built. I mean, look, when Steve Vai designs a guitar, it's like the guy knows what he's talking about. The guy knows what he's designing. He's no joke. He knows the deal. I mean, who better designing a guitar than Steve Vai? Let's see here.
Eddie Van Halen.
Okay. Well, Let's put it this way. Eddie Van Halen obviously came up with the Super Strat concept. Steve basically designed an incredible Super Strat. Let's give it that. You know,
And with a handle too.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I can't carry this one around. I've tried. It keeps slipping. I'm trying. It's fucking me up. But this thing's as black as night, super fast to play, great tones. Because I love DiMarzio pickups. I think they're great. But if I wanted to upgrade this, you know what I would do, Johnny? You know what I would do? If I wanted to make this even better. If I wanted to take this guitar and make it even better, I would call up my buddy Craig at Vinum Custom Pickups and have him install a pair of the Mancuda Customs. I love Vinum pickups. If you want to upgrade your guitar, what a great segue, right? If you want to upgrade your guitar sound, Vinum Custom Pickups has everything. They can thank you, Bang Energy Drink. They can all our sponsors at once. They can make
kernels.
They can make it kernels.
My stomach hurts so bad.
I got a shit. I'm so full of kernels and Bang. My stomach.
F you.
No, look. F you, Tone. I'm digging out the dingleberries with the Swiss pick. Swiss pick. The greatest guitar picks ever. And no, Robot Master Switch. Robot Master Switch brings up a great question. Seriously, though. Check out Vinum Custom Pickups online. Go to Vinum Custom Pickups and tell Craig you were sent by John Mancuda, and they will take good care of you. Because they're great. So anyway, Robot Master Switch asked, is the fretboard scalloped on the last 3 frets? And that's a really good question because the gems are. But that's something specifically that you get with the gems. They are not with the RG series. Not even the 760. But it's a great fretboard. And again, with the edge trim. And again, no tiger claw, but it is recessed. See? But you get great pickups. You get a great body, good weight. The neck is the key to this. The Wizard neck is so good on this. It's so flat and fast. Really good. But I'll tell you, it would probably sound even better with some Vinum Custom Pickups. So that's just a little thought there. But yeah, and of course, brought to you by Swiss Picks, the greatest gripping guitar pick on the market. Check out Swiss Picks online. Thank you, Swiss Picks. I believe it's an alder body and nice and lightweight. One thing you'll notice, and I've said this on the show before, when I play, I always lower the middle pickup because I never use the middle pickup. And with my playing style, it always gets in the way. So I just almost recess it totally into the body. Action's great. Neck is great. You know, very low. This is, you know, to give you an idea. I don't know if you could see that. I mean, the action's right there. It's like right on it. Can you see that, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
I had an angle that you could see how low the strings are. It's really, really low action on this one. Jay says it's a basswood body, so I stand corrected. It is basswood, not basswood. It's asswad. Yeah, it's basswood, 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 asswood, morningwood. Yeah, it's not alder. I thought it was. My bad. I went with that because it was so light, but basswood obviously also is very light. But what do I know? Yeah, and obviously Steve Vai, one of my favorite players, tremendous. Robot Master Switch wants to know, what do I do? Do I do anything to my guitars to make them look shiny and glossy in the light? I don't. I mean, I'm in a light source right now that's very reflective. If you've seen me with, like, you know, neon pink guitars or something, it's very hard to capture a color because I have lights around me that, you know, give good light to, you know, the scene I'm in right now, but they reflect badly sometimes, you see, off the guitar, depending on what angle I put it at. So basically, you know, a clear coat guitar, especially a black one, which shows off the clear coat and shine really, really big time, you know, shows off a lot of light. So it looks very glossy. This one, you know, I've actually put through paces because, again, this was like where I started to get back into guitar after a long, long hiatus of stopping learning. Because back in the day, I started learning and I got a couple of guitars, and then grunge came, fist fucked me out of interest, and I didn't pick it up till I filmed Lost. So back in 2010, this was, you know, one of the few that I picked up and said, oh, you know, fuck what type of music is going on. I just love the instruments. Why can't I still play, you know, hair metal and heavy metal and, you know, stuff like that? So that's what I did. So, but there you go. Today's show and tell guitar, an Ibanez RG760 in Darth Vader black for Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Kind of sounds like someone with a lisp is saying it, right? May the 4th be with you. There you go. Let's talk about the new issue of Guitar World. Now,
I saw that.
Yeah. Now, make no mistake. I'm not a personal fan of Greta Van Fleet, so I bought the issue anyway.
You know who I thought that was?
Richie Sambora or Stevie Ray Vaughan?
No. Is Fender Guru in here?
You thought it was Fender Guru?
No, his buddy. I thought it was his friend. When I saw that, I didn't see the physical magazine in the store. I saw a picture of it like on Facebook or something. I thought it was one of those things where you know, the person does like a mock-up magazine cover, you know, and it's them. It's like anybody on a cover. I thought that was, what's his name? Brad. I thought that was Brad Cook. That's his name, right? From Fender Guru.
Janet, Rocky.
I thought that was Brad Cook. Like he had made his own cover of the magazine. That's what I thought.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm not, you know, we've talked about this on the show. I'm not a fan of Greta Van Fleet, you know, because Zeppelin obviously did it first. Kingdom Come did it after. Great White did it just as good. And Greta Van Fleet just did it for no reason. I don't know why they continue to do it. But hey, look, everyone to their own. The fact is, I bought this issue anyway, specifically for the article on the top right corner. Check that out.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, I just bought it for the articles. Yeah, check it out. Vi's Crossroads guitar. A big fucking article on one of the coolest guitars ever in a movie. Look at that. It's a big article on the Jackson guitar that Steve Vai played in the movie Crossroads, battling on guitar against Ralph Macchio. Now, it does a lot. I mean, there's great Cobra Kai. There's great photos of the guitar.
The Kramer Guitar Kid.
There's great photos of the guitar, and it's really a good article. It's a long article telling everything about it. For those that don't know, it's in the Hard Rock Cafe right now. It was originally a Jackson because the headstock's blacked out, so you originally didn't see that in the movie. It tells all about it. For those that don't know, I think the biggest reveal of this article, and it really is a long article. Look at this. Still going. Full multi-page article. All about
it. Roth? Who is that next to Vi?
That's Vi and Roth.
Look at Roth.
Wait a minute. What do you think the teacher's going to look like this year? Whoa! 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 Yeah,
that guy is kind of weird.
But it's a really long article. Look at this. And this is like full pages of dialogue on the page. So it's a really detailed article. Great article. I really, really recommend you guys check out this issue because, I mean, think about it. It's, let's see, pages of dialogue with a lot of photos. 1, 2, 3. That's where I stopped learning to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-page article on this guitar with detailed photos and a lot of dialogue and facts about it.
Wow.
That's very, very cool. That's a big article.
That's a lot of content for those magazines now, because look how thin that magazine is.
Dude, there's an article on guitar players doesn't usually have 9 full dialogue pages and a lot of detailed photos. That's a great article. And it's about a guitar a lot of us, always talk about, ask about, they make replicas of. This is a really good article. Sorry about the cover story, but hey, you're buying it for the Vi article. This is a really good article. And one of the things you don't realize is this is a guitar that didn't get played in the movie at all. You never heard this guitar. It was essentially a prop. Vi did all his parts in the studio on the Green Meanie. So you don't even hear this guitar. He never played this guitar technically at a point that you hear it in the movie. He swung it around. He mimicked that he was playing it. He dropped it and whatever. But the fact is, you never heard this guitar. This is the most famous guitar you never heard play. Think about that. Very, very cool. And, essentially a movie prop, but really, really cool. And, obviously Ralph Macchio didn't play his parts either. So just FYI, for those of you that think, wow, at least Macchio really played. No, he did not play.
Yeah, he had a guitar stunt double.
He was replacing Yngwie.
It was Ry Cooder, I think.
Roy Cooder did the Macchio parts.
I met him. I met him years ago. He came into the shop that I worked at.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Robot Master Switch has a replica of the Telecaster that Macchio played in the movie. That's very cool. The same type of telly. I mean, look, everyone and their mother that I know loves this specific Jackson guitar. A lot of people have asked, is it a Jackson? Is it a Charvel? It's a Jackson. It's an old Jackson. Red sparkle. It gives the serial number. If you want a replica made of this guitar, you have photos at every angle. If you want to relic it the same way, this is your issue, boys and girls. But I was really impressed with the way that they did this article in such detail. Like I said, they don't usually do articles this long and detailed, even about artists. To have a 9-page article, really good photos and information. That's very, very cool. That's interesting. Jeff T brings up a really good point. They have to make a Crossroads 2 movie, show what happens to Vi's character and how he got there. How did Steve Vai become the Devil's guitarist? That's actually a very good script idea. Somebody write it and cast me in there somewhere.
Cast him as Vi.
Yeah, I could cast someone else's Vi, but put me in there somewhere. Let's see. Stunt cock. That's right. Yeah, no, that was basically a stunt guitar.
Hobo Roadie. That's where I met him.
And porn?
That's where I met. I met Ry Cooder. He's good buddies with Fat Dog, and so he would come into the shop and
Cooder was on Dukes of Hazzard first.
It's
the mechanic at Dukes of Hazzard,
and then he was mayor.
That he was mayor. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any other interesting music.
We got
news.
5 minutes, and I have to shut down because I got to split.
Let's see. Just looking through any other music news of interest today. I think that's pretty much it. Again, shout out to the band TSL. Congratulations on your new 4-song EP, Irreverent. Check out their single Tears or Champagne. Check it out on YouTube, and you can download the entire album on Spotify, iTunes, or Amazon. Check it out. Let me know in the comments today what you think of them. I'm curious. And Dane Zimmerman of Zim's Guitars in Arizona in the chat. How are you, brother? Dane says his band is scheduled to play the Whiskey A Go-Go in October. Dude, I hope I am out here at that time. I would love to see you guys. I just miss all my friends, but Dane's always fun to hang out with. And I'd love to see him play. He's a good player too. But if you're in Arizona,
Awesome.
check out the new show location, the new store location,
Sure.
rather. Store location. And thank you, Jesus Rapes Me. Love to you and everyone else. And again, big love and thank you to everyone in the audience. Take a second, leave a thumbs up. We love and appreciate our audience. Let's give thanks to all our channel members and sponsors today.
Thank you, False Flag.
And thank you, False Flag. And who else gave a $50 donation today? Big $50 donation. Was that Nathan? Who was that earlier? I know we called it earlier out, but thank you, False Flag.
It's not in my my list.
Johnny just counts the cash. He don't pay attention to nothing and nobody. But let me give a big shout out and thank you to our channel members: Halface John Moronic, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, Jim Nicholas, 802 Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., Frag 5150, Pal Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, Ben Tom, Michael B, 2 Brain Cells, The Chad, Rick Green, 6 Chick 71, Robot Master Switch, Fernando Riley, R2D2 Locking Nut, Jeff T, Thomas Santiago, Voodoo Child SJ, that is Sean Johnson, Brian Spalding, Fender Guru, Laguna Palms, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Hugh Caldwell, Crosby is a dildo fucker. I'm not sure you are. Jesus Rapes Me, Randy Price, and Steve Carmichael. And let's also give a shout out to our other channel members: Charles Green, my man Fruitcake Tony, Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Linny Lou, and my little geriatric sex kitten Mary, Gorgets Entertainment, Kurt 5150, Susan Silvestri, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Bolland, or Boland, Wayno, Stephen Franklin, Will Starr, R. Habs, David Shea Gormery, Bo Zeke, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Julia Baldessari, and Jarhead Rock. And especially everyone, may the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. Ooh, Star Wars Day. Yeah, Blue Rhino loves Star Wars Day. Yeah, my old school Star Wars video game shirt in the house. Blue Rhino R5D4 in the house.
It's the best day.
It's BB Rhino, BB8 Rhino. And thank you again, everyone, wishing prayers and well wishes for my mom's health. Thank you so much. We love you all. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending Star Wars Day with us.
Thank you.
And yes, leave thumbs up on the video and leave comments in the video. We love to respond to them. We love talking to our audience. We appreciate our audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and remember to share these videos and
keep
that
making
phone number.
And keep making fun of Darth Vader. No.
All right.
We love you guys. Rock on, everybody.
All right, Johnny Beane TV. Good night.
Good night.